All righty then. We are live. We are here. What is up, everyone? It is Friday Night Live, October the 8th. My name is David Pineda. Everybody calls me DP, so that'll work. Just don't call me for money if that's the situation there, so we'll keep it to that. Disabled Army combat veteran and retired law enforcement, and I get to hang out with these amazing folks here this evening and you all. So you'll see the ticker on the bottom. Please let us know what branch of service you were in. Let us know what years you served. Don't care for your rank. Don't care for your job. Just care that you're here. That's the biggest thing. Tonight we're talking VA claims, crypto, NFTs, and a bunch of crazy stuff you may have seen on our pages. We are live at the moment on YouTube, a few Facebook pages. We're trying out LinkedIn for the first time, so that's pretty dope. And even Twitter. So if you see us on anything but YouTube, head on over to YouTube. Let us know if you can get over there or not. It's pretty simple. You just look for David DP Pineda. We'll put the link in as well in the chat. You should have seen it as well, but that way you can kind of all be together in one place and it'll be easier to join the conversation. With that being said and done, over.
And not to mention, that's going to be very important when it comes to the giveaways later.
That is correct. And as you can hear in the background, probably my service dog says he is with that as well. He heard giveaway and began to squeak. So we'll let folks begin to kind of log in. But as they do that, over to you, Amy. Make sure to go ahead and share this, pin it, and invite somebody. Don't be selfish.
Hi, guys. I'm Amy, Air Force veteran.
It took all of 5 seconds for that microphone to come out.
That was fast.
So I have to say, welcome, Lisa and Jerry. I see Jerry's back with us. I'm super excited about that and happy to be back with you guys again on this lovely Friday night. Hey, Lisa. Good to see you, hon. Oh, gosh. All these people are showing up. I'm so excited.
Awesome. Yeah, we got a great crowd tonight.
Yeah.
So, welcome everybody.
Lisa's in the house. She got to get one of those.
Who?
There we go.
You just said Lisa's in the house. Hello.
Lisa.
Oh, yeah, Lisa. And can we get one for Jerry? And Bob?
Yes. David Frazier has my first name, so he gets a bicycle horn. He doesn't get the full shebang. So once you're done, over to Brian. I'm gonna pin where these are at on social, so make sure people kind of see it. But yeah, back to Amy, and we'll go ahead and say hello to all our guests as they're coming on.
Hello, everybody. So again, I'm Amy, Air Force veteran. I've been working in the veteran space for about 2 years, and it's been very rewarding, and I've met some amazing people, and I get to hang out with you guys on this Friday night. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be back and see all of our regulars. Manuel is back. So
Awesome.
Welcome, everybody. Over to you, Brian.
Well, so no, I don't have a microphone. That's Amy's thing.
But you have something else, right?
Oh, that's right. I've got my shameless product plug. I just put my Starbucks cup in there, and I'm good to go.
Yes.
So there we go. But yeah, Brian Lofton, Army disabled vet, served from 90 to 93. And if you couldn't tell by my product here, is that I'm the official coffee server for the team. So anything that DP and Amy and the rest want, I make sure that they get. So that's what I'm here for.
No.
That is usually my line, so I'm gonna act like you just didn't go ahead and steal that. So
I stole DP's line.
There's that part.
Lisa. Lisa said Lisa. Hey, but we did kind of figure out how we can add this to the swag shop, so we're gonna make that happen, Lisa. Here's
This?
my there. Yes. It gets us through the tough times. DP, where's yours? Oh, there we go.
Technically, I don't know how I feel about having a teddy bear of myself, so I think you could say this is like an NFT. Hello.
NFT.
Getting ahead of ourselves. Let's not get too crazy now.
Maybe we should have gotten you a Joe Bear or something.
Yes, a Joe
Does
Bear would
Joe
have
does
been.
Joe like the DP bear?
I don't know if Joe likes the DP Bear. She might tune in a few and probably comment.
Okay.
But I think I will say she definitely loves the DP Bear. DP Bear does not talk or have all the issues I come with. He just sits there and just is static. So yeah,
Yeah, what's not to like about that? Yeah.
Uh,
I'm posting in the different channels the link to YouTube as well. Sometimes for YouTube, you might have to sign in, or in the app, you'll see like a little chat feature. So it's not the comment, it's a live chat. So if you have issues with that, let us know. So we're kind of making a point to start getting folks used to going to YouTube because it's better for some of the things that we're going to start doing. So not trying to push you out of your comfort zones, just learning new things. That's the theme of all the things that we're doing, learning new things. But before we get to new things and crazy things, Amy, how was your week? Last time we spoke here was 2 weeks ago. So what's been happening? Give us an update while I
yes.
bring up some of the comments of the peoples.
It's been good. It's been a good week. It went by super fast. A good productive week, and yeah, no complaints.
Sweet. That's
Been
a
practicing my karaoke. I'm one day closer to being able to sing live for you guys, so
the
I
batteries
am
ran out last week. That's
super
what happened.
excited. Brian's gonna send me my battery,
There we
and
go.
then I'll be good to go. But
That's right.
until he sends that, you guys have to wait. My voice is
Well,
coming back from being sick, so
Voice
I'm just
voice of
waiting
an
for the
angel.
shipping cost to come down so I can get this battery over to you.
okay. No rush, no rush.
Okay.
We're gonna get it. It's just it's just a technicality. That's all it is.
I did see. So there's this TikTok, where I think it's Mariah Carey, where she sings, but it's really her voice. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring that up, and I'm gonna karaoke, but my sound's gonna be off, and you guys are gonna be blown away by my
So
talent.
you're going to pull a Milli Vanilli, huh? Gotcha.
Absolutely,
Gotcha.
absolutely. Hmm.
Hey, it worked
Interesting.
for them. So
Yeah, yeah. I want people to keep coming back, so I think it keeps them, a little bit on edge when they think this might be the week that I sing. Just never know.
Yeah, that or eventually people are just going to run away and say, you know what, this is just baloney. So there's that part.
No, they won't do that.
Sweet. Gotta make a point real quickly because I know this is going to make this person a very happy, and it was completely a fluke. So I will say it live today that we have the ability to say we are on a LinkedIn. So yes, I
Yes.
can't tell you how that happened. That was a complete fluke that had. I'm over here reconnecting things, doing stuff. I had to re-put the application in. Long story short, it's like, oh, it's working on a test. I'm like, well, let's go to it live. Mind you, the application is still pending. So I'm pretty sure that we're going to be banned. So if you're on LinkedIn and you're following us, go ahead and share this. So let me go find myself because this is pretty new on that side. So
yeah, that's really cool that we can do this in LinkedIn now, and of
yeah.
course we have been broadcasting in Facebook
Oh,
for a minute.
look at that bad boy. You go to my little profile and it's actually on the
Oh,
banner.
oh,
Like
Oh
when you go to
wow.
somebody's profile, it's actually
nice.
on the banner. Look at
That
that
is
bad boy.
cool.
That's pretty crazy.
That is really
Yeah, if
cool.
you find us on LinkedIn, you'll see us all kind of sharing and retweeting and things like that in there. Or I don't know if that's a word, but yeah, I see. So we got Lisa's comment in, so that's a good thing because it's
Good.
literally the first time we're actually testing it live. So that's nice.
So that comment is actually coming from LinkedIn. Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
Yep. So you should be able to literally, if you go to, so if you go to my page, I guess you should be able to share on your page. So pretty cool
See.
stuff. But the comments are coming in from live on that side, so we are live and direct. And if you see us on LinkedIn, you'll see that apparently we have some education because LinkedIn likes to talk about that stuff.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
and again we're excited to welcome the LinkedIn crowd. But now that you see us on LinkedIn, go ahead and jump over to YouTube because, again, we want you to be able to participate.
I completely forgot what I was supposed to go to LinkedIn to do. I literally went in there, was so happy to see that the link worked. I forgot that I was supposed to go in there also and just post and comment the link. So if you're watching us there, you'll see that now. Holy guacamole. Yeah, so there's me on LinkedIn putting the link. So we have those in there as well. But sweet. It's weird. The first thing I saw when I looked down was Arlisa's message, and I saw the little LinkedIn badge there, and I was just like, whoop whoop.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say that was all because they believed that Amy was gonna sing, and now that she won't, we'll lose the access.
Well, maybe they'll come back the next time
Yeah.
we do it in 2 weeks.
So yeah, so we're there. Twitter, same thing. We're doing it on that side of the house, so that should be pretty interesting.
Oh, nice.
On Twitter, it's actually pretty simple. So as we'll talk today about claims and some different things, some things start making sense, but apparently my name's not the easiest thing to spell. And I've kind of got very busy on the crypto and NFT side, which we'll talk about. I've apparently ascended into a new name there. So I've kept DP, but I can actually bring it up here in a second.
Okay.
It's simple. If you're on Twitter, you could find me at Veteran DP. That's it. Really creative, I know. The word veteran and DP. That's it. So social media's handles will be changed and updated to reflect that. So a little kind of food for thought there, which I think is kind of dope. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Let's go ahead and bring up some comments, see how our people are doing, because it's been a few days since we've seen y'all. So let's get our so did we ever get an update on your week was, your past 2 weeks, Brian?
Well, my past 2 weeks have been jam-packed, filled with playing with different applications and supporting vets with their disability claims and playing with crypto and NFTs and man, it's been a whirlwind, but man, it's been exciting.
All that goobly glop.
Goobity glop, absolutely. Crypto, I'm just learning how to spell it. So NFT is that a brand of toilet paper? I don't know.
It is. It's a double ply. It has some merits and strengths and stuff. So there's that part. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, so let's see. In the chat, we already kind of had the trumpet rolling, but we have Lisa with us. Don't call it a comeback. She is hanging out yet again.
Yes.
Lisa Chaser, numero 20.
Lisa.
The 20. We got Ron Arnold in the house, letting you know he is here, and that is what matters. Thank you for being here, Ron. Appreciate you, my brother. Let's see here. Lisa is saying specifically how she's missed me and Brian, not Amy. The way the font is working. After the heart, it says not Amy, but it's like the same color background is bleeding. It's a whole marketing thing. You would understand.
Yeah.
Not true.
We got my brother David in the house, retired Air Force.
David?
We should probably get like a board at one point and just kind of have like a point behind us, like, okay, boop, one for Air Force, boop, one for Army, and kind of go at it that way.
Well, we do have the chalkboard, so
I will tell you baloney, because when Jerry's in the house, the only thing that wins is Jerry. You may not know this, but fun fact, secret fact, when it comes to the whole thing of Bitcoin, who did it, Satoshi Nakamoto, all this secrecy, anonymity, it's Jerry. He is Satoshi Nakamoto. Secret's out. Yeah. Jerry created Bitcoin.
he is the creator behind Chib and all these other
companies. So Jerry's in the house. Navy, Vietnam, sir, from 66 to 79. We did check his ID. We did check his 214. And he is the age he says. He served when he said. Personally, I thought he was at max going to the Gulf War. But you know what? Jerry found something somewhere called a Fountain of Youth.
Yes,
Jerry is in the house.
Yep. He did.
It's so Ron, Army, 74 to 76. 1 point for Army. Let's see. With 33 years of law enforcement. Oh, that's double point. On my side. So yes, disabled veteran, and we have the law enforcement.
And
Ba-dum, bum,
law
ba-dum, bum.
enforcement.
Pew pew. So that's exactly how the guns sound when they round bullets.
Phew.
We have Jesus Lopez in the house. Served Army
Oh,
from 2000
hi.
to 2008. Do you know Jesus?
All right,
Yes,
Jesus.
he's one of my clients.
Nope, he's not. He's
Yes, he
this is
is.
not
He's the best.
this is a different one. This is not your no. You don't know
No,
him.
he's my
This is
client.
different.
Yeah.
How do
Can you
what
please comment? Can you please
what is his
comment?
name? Say his name.
Well, I call him Mr. Lopez.
Yes, exactly. I call this is Jesus. Jesus Lopez.
No,
You are
actually, I
talking about
call him
somebody else.
sir. I call him sir.
Leggy, what are you doing? Oh my lord.
Our chief
Look,
Um,
criminal.
he's the best. Like he's one of my faves. So I have a lot of faves, but yes. See, Lisa likes me.
Yeah.
Amy has the mic. Okay. Okay, let's
That's
see.
actually.
We got Willie in the house. Willie ask you, Army Vietnam from 69 to 71. Don't call it a comeback, but it's the advancement of the Army yet again. Another
There we
point.
go. Beep, beep.
Come on, Air Force. I know
Nope,
you're
no,
out
no.
there.
We got Lisa in
Don't
the
be
house.
shy.
She's sharing some love, but the love that she shares, you don't know this. She may not like iPhones. She may not like Apple, but she is Team Army, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
There we go.
We got
Army's running the house.
Rashida in the house. What up?
What's up,
Thank you for
Nice.
being
Rashida?
here.
Yes.
We got Manuel in the house. My brother from another mother. Oh, what is this? Yes, U.S. Army from Ohio at
Yes.
90%.
Oh.
Nice.
90% on paper, but you are 100% here with us. And that is what I will say about that because that's another point for the Army. Boom, bam, boom. Oh, my goodness. Crazy.
Oh my
Don't know what's
goodness.
going on here. Rashida,
Yes.
Army 88 to 95, combat medic, doing combat rolls forward, left, right, running some lines and all this good stuff. So, yeah, that's what you need. And when things get rough, you need a combat medic
Absolutely.
from the Army. We don't call for the corpsmen. We call for Rashida. So there's
Call
that
for
part.
Rashida.
Lisa says she is still waiting for her DP bear. I'm gonna
Yes.
say it must be something with shipping and a whole bunch of stuff that I can't, say. So I don't
No,
know.
we're figuring it out. We're figuring it out.
That's one way to say it's Amy's fault. Uh, so Rashida said DP is a teddy bear. I have been made a teddy bear. That is a true statement. I was
We
surprised by it
I
one
think she
day.
means like in
we
person
have
you're a teddy
NFT'd
bear.
DP.
No, 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 no. She was correct. She corrected herself. Boom. There you go.
Oh.
Don't you mess up my rating. Don't let this little temporary happiness go. Ron, 90% disabled, shooting for a hundo. Okay, my brother. So
Okay.
make
Yes.
sure we talk about that. Lisa's hitting us with some emojis of
Aw.
a bear, a hug. So all of that there, if you notice, that's on the first bear, right, is me. The second bear
Yep.
is Brian. That's
Yep.
her blushing. Then me again, Brian, her
Yep.
blushing, her okay, okay. If you notice, not one mic, not
Oh my
one lady,
God.
little female or nail
Oh
thing. So
wow.
Yeah. No,
sorry,
no airplanes.
I don't
Wow.
make the
I
rules.
do not feel the love tonight. That's okay though.
I don't
That's
make the
okay.
rules. I just click on the thing that makes the words come up. Rashida is waiting
Yes.
for the mic to work. Rashida,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
gonna tell you the
good.
truth. I hope you have a hobby and things you do between these shows, because go pour yourself something. Um, let's see. Let's see. You sound great, Amy, and hope that you're taking good care of yourself. This is
Yeah,
now.
see, she gets it.
No, this is called.
No, she gets it. She knows. I've been sick.
It's. I get it. It's a sisterhood. She's not gonna let you completely run out there without no pants, yaya sister. So let that go. Um, let's see. We got Jay's in the house. Says no lip syncing.
No.
So
Jay cannot talk. Cause where's Jay ever?
well,
Has
that's
he
his
ever
his
come
role is to
online?
not talk. His role is well, he did come on one time when we
that
had
doesn't count
That's
because
right.
that was Jess and
when we had that debacle.
just peeked his head in the background. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah, he
count.
kind of kept peeking behind Jess. And, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Rashida, no disclaimer.
Thank you.
No, 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 no.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
I'm
you.
going to completely bastardize this. So, look, there's things I'm good at, things I'm not good at. But I want to say when you go into the medical field, you must take a, what do they call that? A Hippocratic. It's one of the oaths that you do, right? Like you have to help. So her combat medicness, medical stuff is like, hey, I hope you feel better. Can't just leave you here bleeding out, Amy. So it's not real care. It's just literally her
That's not
medical.
true.
It's
Just for
it's the
medical
oath she took.
obligation.
Yes, combat medics are not doctors or nurses, but guess what? She took the oath too. So the oath of the combat
Yep.
medic. I will always ask people if they're okay, even if I don't care. It's in there. True story.
Okay.
Let's see. We got Billy in the house. Billy is in the house.
Nice.
United States
Okay.
Navy. Check out that profile picture there so you can respect it. Retired TDIU, TMP. Let's see. SMCS. Should I keep going? I'm going to say you might want to go ahead and shut that down. But there's some questions I would ask because if you're SMCS, TDIU is already in your PNT in that regard, you're pretty much maxed out. So there's certain things that might require. You might go beyond SMC like the R's or L or other things if you meet the requirement for that. But as it stands right now at face value, we could touch on it a little bit. But one thing we would never do is put people's business out there and stuff. So all of this stuff, first of all, that we'll talk about, numero uno, when it comes to claims, we are not registered medical professionals to give you advice. We're having conversations. Go back to your medical professional and your whoever is helping you. That's one. Two, we talk crypto, we talk NFTs. It's not financial advice. It's people that have done some stuff and apparently haven't gone bankrupt yet. So we're sharing some stories. So take that back to your financial advisor. Do your own research. So again, nobody sit there and be like, well, DP said I should go ahead and buy some Litecoin. Use a lie. But maybe you should look at it. Glad to have you here, Billy, with us. Let's see.
Yes.
Lisa said, I haven't been on LinkedIn in a hot minute. Well, guess what? Minute's up. Go like us and follow
Yes.
us.
There we go.
Let's
But
see.
she is on YouTube, so that's good.
Yes. And shout out to Lisa, to Lisa, to
Yes.
Lisa from Lisa.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Sensu in the house.
All
Sinsel,
right.
what's
Pencil.
up?
Glenn is in the house. Boom.
Hey, Glenn.
There you go.
Lisa is over there on LinkedIn. Where it feels so weird. We're all in the same thing together. I love technology, but it's crazy that it's like, oh my, Lisa's over there in LinkedIn world. Like we're all in the same space, but it's like it feels because we have all these different channels that like, oh crap, she's on the other divide of the blue side, not the red YouTube side. Technology. We got the man, the myth, the legend, a man of many attributes of high-ranking personality. Mr. Eric Ranks is in the house.
There we
From
go.
the
Hey, Eric.
Veteran Connection.
Yes.
What
Eric?
up? Let's see. Rashida said crypto, and my response would be, you know. So there's that part. You know what I mean? I heard it, like literally. She was like saying, "For crypto." I'm like, you know, by yourself. Let's see. Little shout out from Lisa. Thanks for joining us and being here, tuning in for prizes and things that we'll do tonight. Yes, we're gonna give out some stuff. We're gonna ask some questions, but you're gonna have to do something. So it won't just be randomly, "Hey, nice comment." Like, no, you're gonna have to take a little bit of action. But I promise you, the most action you'll take today is going to be going like this. Doop 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 doop. So that you don't have to get up and do a backflip. Just navigate to a site, follow us here, like us there, send us an email. Simple stuff. So it'll be pretty cool. Let's see, Ron. You're welcome. Glad to be here. No, we're glad that you're here.
Yes.
Because this gets really kind of awkward when we're by ourselves and there's nothing to bring up, and it's just like.
Yes.
So I guess nobody's
Yeah.
coming to the Zoom class today.
So,
What time is it? It's 9:26. We're Eastern Standard Time. Lisa, I think, is somewhere down south. I don't know where Lisa Chaser's at, but apparently she's already. It's 5 o'clock somewhere in the world because she's apparently talking some gibberish.
oh man. Maybe she got started
I
early in
love
the day.
Lisa.
It is Friday after all.
Lisa.
You see that? Look, Rashida ain't playing. She got a damn helmet. I bet you she got a Kevlar somewhere, and it has sand. Like if you notice, if you have anything that's military, it's filled with sand, and it could be literally like I've never been to the sand. I was in Vietnam. There's sand somewhere. I don't know what the heck these materials attract. I'm
still
sure the
call it
hats we're wearing
sandbag.
just because they say veteran. They may have daggone sand in it. I don't know. Veterans rock. Thank you, my veterans. If you notice, he led off with green foliage out of his profile picture, green helmets. You get the theme. I'm not gonna have to tell it
Right.
to you, Amy,
Cover and
but
concealment.
there's
There we
nothing blue
go.
on her stuff there, so there's that part.
It's fine. I like Rashida.
Okay, I'll give you this. So Ron says thought you might like that. We do. Jesus apparently seems to know you, so there's that.
Yes, see? I told you. Yes.
Crap, we just lost reception. Jesus is no longer able to see us. I don't know what happened. Golly, Jesus has been deleted from the chat.
Jesus is going through a
No,
tunnel
don't
right
do
now.
that. That is not
Never. Oh, 25th ID is in the house. Army
There
from
you go.
01 to 09. You know what? Let's just stop counting
Oh.
because at some point it's just a slaughter and we're mindful of mental health. So we don't want you to feel completely destroyed. Let's see. Research Mt. Gox wallets when looking at NFTs. Billy is on it. You see that? Billy's like, look, I came to play. So,
There we go.
boom. I like it. We're gonna get to that here shortly. Lisa, again, under the influence of love and happiness. Android for life, and yes, Army and Marines. My whole life and family, but I love my Air Force friend. Look, she was even looking at. See, look right there. Everything's fine, but then she goes, but I love my Air Force friends. So like that whole misspelling thing was her body rejecting what she was trying to write. You know, so it's not it's moo. It's like, like say I'm sorry. Couldn't even type it. Amy, I'm sorry. I don't make these rules up. I just literally read the stuff. And then she tried to come back afterward and fix it. But, oh, Lord. Jesus is still here. What is happening? What is this?
Yes, see? I told you. Yes.
Oh, Lord.
He's the best.
Let's see. We got Roger Fuller in the house. U.S. Army, you already know. When are you guys going to start taking on new clients? We have some great networks in place, and we have some great connections in place to get things going. So we'll make sure that we get you to the right department. So we will contact you. But in the meantime, head on over to veteransnetwork.club. Contact us. Give us your name and email, good number to contact you, and say, hey, please put me in contact with the people that can help me get my things going, and we shall do that thing. So
yeah, so we have a link to the contact us page in the chats. So making it easy for you.
Yep. So head on over to veteransnetwork.club, and you will see there your ability to go into the contact us section. And again, we'll bring it up here shortly. Let's see.
Central
Lisa
wants a teddy bear too.
Central gets nothing.
Yes, Central does get something.
Oh, Lord. The later we go, the worse this gets.
Yes, thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Sam, for bringing some levity to this whole thing. Team Apple's back in the house.
Apple. There we go. Sam's representing.
That's all you need. That's all you need. Sam said, I'm back. Don't call it a comeback. You see it. The thing I love about Sam is the things on the bottom, yes, let us know your branch and when you serve. He's like, no, first of all, let's just set the record straight. Team Apple's in the house. And then I'll say hello. I like it. That's literally a thing that only Sam can do. Anybody else does it, we're going to ignore them.
It's not the same.
It's about to get ugly real quick. I expect there's going to be some kind of drama here in the chats because when Sam's here and Lisa's here, ooh. Amy, need you a little bit closer to the mic. The way that our hearing is set up, sometimes, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so. But again, it's just which mic,
Well,
right?
then I look so much bigger. I don't like that.
You look so much bigger. What are you talking about?
Yes, and I'm so.
All right, so there we go.
Really?
Boom
Man,
solved.
like wasn't there a sci-fi movie made about Amy at some point?
I don't know what the heck's going on here. We're having some technical difficulties. Apparently, honey, we shrunk the Army vets. You know what I mean? The mic is what you need to focus. Don't worry about that. You're back to normal now.
Like
Let's
this
see.
mic? They want me to get closer to this mic?
No, that one doesn't work. That's why Lisa can't hear you right now.
That one's missing batteries, so
We're not tallying points no more. But come on, you already know. Jay's in the house. Army.
Where's Jess?
She married Army, so that's a +1. So.
No, because Jess is.
Oh, Apple team. Man. Maybe next week we'll add like a little thing to this is just getting ridiculous. We got Shaky in the house. What is up?
What's up, Shaky?
hey,
Let's see. Let's see. No oath is more important than cash. We are capitalists. Let's see. Where's
I
these
need to
teddy
get one of those
bears?
money guns.
Sensu, no, we're getting nothing for you. Let's see.
Yes, Sinsel gets a bear too.
Man, Sensel's out there lounging on his deck.
Yeah, he's in the boat. I don't want to hear that
Water.
stuff. For the record, Eric says thank you for the nice things that we have shared. I had to do that to provide some levity because we can't have too much negativity apparently here to Team Dwindling Air Force.
If
We have some
Eric,
Navy in the house.
Eric would pick the Air Force.
I'm sorry you're breaking up. We
Was
cannot
it-
hear you. No, I think I have to. No, we have some technical difficulties here, folks. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and move on. Lisa, I'm in Hilton Islands, Marines, Army, but I love all my branches. If you notice, though,
South Carolina.
yeah, that's fine.
There
But
we go.
all my branches comes after that. Just afterthoughts.
That's right.
Lisa does love all the branches. She's like
Okay, so here, you know what? I gotta, we create an atmosphere where people are like, "Oh, I cannot leave my sister alone." Look at that. Glenn did a front flip, back flip, jump in the air.
Glenn.
Look at that. He's like, "Hold on for a second.
Yes,
I
Glenn.
just got a service. I'm still in CIF. Last time we saw Glenn was 2 weeks ago. He
That's
just
right.
got out in 2021. I just got an update. Hold on for a second. Yes, Glenn is still at the Central Issue Facility trying to turn in his equipment. It's been 2 weeks and he still cannot find a canteen holder. Trust me, you don't want that bill. Let's see.
Glenn, thank you, Glenn.
Eric is caught in the middle of a firefight. Glenn, we might need you. As you may see on the YouTube side, there is a flurry of apples. Sam got really, I guess,
God.
kind of funky here, and he's with watermelons. I don't know what's going on, but maybe it's the new iPhone. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Here comes Lisa with it's iPhone and it's Apple.
Yes.
But again, to contact us,
They love, yes.
veteransnetwork.club. Head on over to sign up, contact us. You see the newsletter piece. There's more blogs going out. There's more information going out. So definitely make a point to sign up. We'll share that here shortly as well. But that's where you'll see most of the things that we're going to do. Eric, we're going to save you. So we're going to say the answer is no.
Yeah, Eric, I think you missed it earlier. I still haven't been able to ship this yet. So
Let's see. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Everybody thinks it's my fault when really it's Brian hasn't shipped the battery. So it's fine.
Well, there. Hey, look. I don't know what are you drinking, lady?
Oh, really, DP? Thank you, Lisa. Thank you.
Sometimes someone must be the bad cop to have a good cop. Remember that.
Oh my god.
So I take this responsibility very seriously.
Oh, yes,
We got
you
ninjas. I'm telling you, this is a whole
do.
thing. This is what.
Android here's
man,
all.
look at that.
Yeah, we got ninjas in there. There's teddy bear. It's like a whole thing. Let me go ahead and fast forward. Eric said, "Why are you trying to get me in trouble?" Jay said, "We need to go ahead and start a DP teddy bear raffle."
Oh, Jay wants one too? That's
No,
so
a
cute.
raffle.
No, I think it's because he wants one too. That's so cute.
So what? So we can laugh at him when he falls down? Come on. Now.
He needs something
No,
to
he
land
has
on
to when he
when his
falls
knee
down.
gives out.
I get when he falls down.
Well, exactly. You know what I mean? But it won't help him up though. So there's that part. Correction.
Well, you
Start
wouldn't
the
help him out either.
DP teddy bear auction. Sam says, "I love that you guys are back." Let's see. Amy, I can jump on Amazon and order you batteries if need. A special message from Sam to Lisa with poop. There's that part. And let's see. I love all branches, but to Amy's credit, I do have a special place in my heart for the Air Force. It's because he likes
Thank
planes.
you,
Get out of here. Like that. Oh.
Thank you, Eric.
Fun fact: Air Force, child of the Army. Moving on. Let's
There
see.
we go.
Let's see. Lisa says, yes, we want the DP teddy bear. It's crazy what we have created here. All proceeds of teddy bear will go to the funding of the Get Amy a Battery and Mic Foundation. Alrighty, so there's that. I think we have the majority of folks kind of rocking and rolling in there. So
Yes.
One of the things we'll say, let's see, we got some folks on the personal page. The personal page comments, for some reason, do not pop up. And I've noticed that because I literally saw my sister had commented on something. And I was just like, oh, the heck? So we
Yeah.
got some folks, if you're on my personal page on Facebook. I don't know why that doesn't pop up all the time, but let's see. Sensu's in there, Apple, David Frazier, Sean Gabbitt's watching, Ronis is watching.
Oh,
Ronis, what's up, Ronis?
Let's
Ron,
Ronis,
be
see.
in here.
yes.
I have a mental health CMP tomorrow. 6 exams a charm, but the VA finally diagnosed and connected to my records. So Frazier has a CMP tomorrow. That has been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Ronis gives us a yo. Richel's out there watching, and as are other people. So if y'all there in personal page land, I just pinned the comment to YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, you'll be able to interact more and kind of do all that fun stuff there.
Yeah, come over to YouTube tonight anyway, because
Come
that's
to
how
the
you're
red
going to be able
side.
to participate in the giveaways.
Come to the red side. So with that being said and done, yeah, the disclaimer again, you'll see some posts and things that we're talking about. But what we're trying to do is begin the process of really having more detailed conversations. If you're following me on any of my social media platforms, you'll see that I'm talking a little bit more about some of the things that are happening on the investment side, to include mental health things. And really, it's about saying, okay, oh, wow, I have a Bitcoin. Oh, I have a this and I have a that, and you don't know it. No. I understand many people have a reservation when it comes to these new things. And what I'll say is, you did not know how to walk when you were born, and you learned. You did not know how to use a toilet, and you were trained. You did not know how to drive a car, and you got your license. You did not know how to use an iPhone, and you learned, except Lisa. More of the story is, you learn the things you don't know how to do. However, regardless of your background or race, when it comes to certain things, people have a hard time asking questions. The golden rule in work, right? Right? You don't talk politics and religion and salary. So that's kind of the three things you don't talk about, right? You don't talk money, you don't talk religion, you don't talk politics. So when it comes to financial literacy, guess what? People just don't know what they don't know what they don't know, and it's just easier to say, well, the rich get rich, the poor get poor, and it's a rigged system. Okay, are you happy now? Can we move on? Because the fact is, there are 20 different ways to unscrew something, but it's about asking the questions, beginning to have conversations. So those are the things that we're beginning to do. So if you see posts, there'll be like small segments. I'll share a thing. I'll explain something. Start breaking down acronyms. So you start to learn what's out there. So some of the giveaways we have tonight, we're going to give away one or two, usually two, right? NFTs. We'll talk about that here in a second. And I have decided that we shall do $200 in cryptocurrencies. So we may give 100 in Bitcoin, we may give 100 in Ethereum. So the question is, how will that go? So we'll put out how that will happen here shortly. So that's some of the things that we're doing, because I think the other part too is, like, when you buy something, like let's say a red vehicle, you all of a sudden see a red vehicle everywhere. If you buy a Mustang, you see Mustangs everywhere. And until you have some skin in the game, you're not going to be able to understand or appreciate what is happening. So if you have $5, again, not going to break the bank, but at the minimum now you're in the game, right? You're not going to become a millionaire. You're not going to break the bank. It's not going to be anything crazy, but at the minimum now you have a mindset of, oh, I'm in the game. I'm invested. So that's really what the focus of that is to begin to have conversations, to introduce people, but also being a little more transparent. I have been in this space for a while. I have a technology background, IT, all that good stuff, did stuff, military, did stuff, law enforcement, but always kind of followed things and got really more active in the cryptocurrency side in 2017. And got a little more active in the NFT side after that, which is more towards last year, this year, because that's when things started to really kind of kick up. So we'll talk a bit about how that all is. When it comes to the claim side of the house, same thing. I know Frazier kind of talked a little bit about his 6 CMP. So for those that don't know, we've been in the veteran space doing a lot of different things. At Veterans Network, we're kind of really expanding what I like to call our three tenets, our three pillars. And one of them being benefits, right? And that's going to range from not only claims, but home loans, different types of benefits that are available. So we want to share those things and bring subject matter experts in to help shed light on that. So it's not just three folks here talking, but there's a backing to it, right? So that's one part. The other part being the financial literacy side, investments and things that we're looking into, which is information based there, education based there, and then the entrepreneur veteran consultation side of the house, so business development and things. And you'll find this on our website when you go to veteransnetwork.club on services, some of the things that we have coming. So you'll see things that we're fleshing out. So with that being said and done, for Frazier specifically, we've kind of established from last week when it comes to claims, filing a claim, you sustain an injury in service, something happened, trauma, whatever the case may be. And then now you're going to go ahead and make a point to file to the VA. You do that, the VA is eventually going to call you and say, well, we want to take a look at you. So in this instance here, now off goes Frazier for a CMP. In his case, sadly, for not the first time. So with a mental health exam coming up, I will defer over to my battle buddies, y'all. What would be some general tips you would give someone, not only Frazier, because there might be somebody else listening to this, whether live or on the replay, when it comes to some tips for a mental health CMP? Amy or Brian?
Well, I'll let Amy go first. Ladies first.
I would say being uncomfortably vulnerable in any claim that you're going to have a CMP for. So being able to articulate your symptoms and having those hard conversations about what your symptoms are and how they affect you socially and occupationally. And sometimes they may not affect you so much at home or at work. But if they do, make sure and speak to that. It kind of goes, I was thinking about what I was going to talk about tonight, and I was thinking lifestyle impact claim. So perfect. The lifestyle impact claim is not a claim in itself because it's not a diagnosis. But when you talk about the lifestyle impact claim, how are your rated conditions or service connected conditions, how do they affect you? And so there's a stigma behind mental health, and a lot of people don't want to do the mental health claims. But if you really think about how your disabilities affect you, the symptoms fall in line with mental health. And so a lot of times when we talk to veterans, they'll say, right away, a lot of them, especially men, I'm just going to say, will say, no, I don't want to do mental health, whether it's because of the stigma, they're worried about, their guns, or they're worried about if they can do certain jobs. But when you start talking about, let's break down what symptoms are and how do they affect you. So, for example, my back. So I had issues with my back, and I had to be on steroids and steroids injections. And so that made me gain weight. So gaining weight, what did that do? Does it contribute to my depression? Does it contribute to how I feel about myself? What I can't do? Maybe I'm not the same person that I used to be, or I can't do the things that I used to do. And how does that affect me mentally and emotionally? Maybe I can't play with my kids or go play basketball like I always thought I would be able to do with my son, or whatever the case may be, right? And so I think knowing and understanding your symptoms and being honest with yourself is very important. They don't know what they don't know, as DP always says. So you have to be able to articulate that for them. So you can't just go in there and say, I have gross and inappropriate behavior. What does that look like for you? What is gross and inappropriate behavior? Do you have road rage? Do you maybe drink just so you can tolerate your kids? Do you self-medicate? Do you over-medicate? Do you lose your temper at work and your coworkers walk on eggshells around you? A lot of things that you do that are normal to you are not normal to somebody else. And so really being able to understand, I had a client this week that he was pretty adamant that, he didn't want to do mental health. And when I started, he said he does drink a lot. and his wife has a problem with his drinking. And what does that do for him? He's like, well, I have to, because by the end of the day, his rated conditions for his back and his knees and so on and so forth, he's in so much pain that that's how he tolerates getting through the night with 3 kids, all under 5. And so that's what you want to talk about. And then so we talked a little bit more, and he was like, I guess I do. Now that you put it that way, I do a lot of that stuff. I can't sleep at night. So I go into the other room so I don't keep my wife awake. Well, that interferes with him and his wife's relationship, and she doesn't like that so much. So that is your lifestyle impact claim. It is your disabilities that is affecting your home life with your spouse. And so, it could be tinnitus, that your tinnitus is so bad that you have to sleep with industrial fan on, and that keeps your wife awake, so you sleep in a separate room. Well, is that good for your marriage? Does that cause problems in your relationship? I had a provider, a dentist, this week talk about how his tinnitus is so bad that his anxiety is through the roof. When he comes home, he has 4 kids. So how does that affect you? And so he said, well, my little boy accidentally spilled a glass of water and I just lost it. And then my wife was like, if you're going to act like that, go away. We don't need you here, blah, 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 blah. Well, that is symptoms of his condition of tinnitus. So really being able to understand and articulate what you're going through and be honest. I mean, it's not, if you go in there saying that, I'm pretty good, well, then you're not going to get the rating you deserve if you're really not good. And so think about your symptoms on your worst day. Think about the comments that your family says. Maybe your family doesn't want to hang out with you anymore. They say, you're not the same person as you used to be, or, why don't you want to hang out with us anymore? And think about that kind of stuff. How do your kids act? Do your kids act nervous around you? Do they not feel comfortable talking to you? And so really being able to, and that's where coaching comes in. And so, whoever your coach is, or if you're working with somebody, asking them to understand how to articulate, your symptoms, and throw scenarios at them, or ask them, is this something I should talk about? Or should I bring this up? And sometimes it's really uncomfortable. And, the thing is, if you don't tell your truth, you're not going to get the rating that you deserve. So have that hard conversation with the CMP examiner. Maybe you can't have it with your wife. Maybe you can't have it with your husband. Maybe you can't have it with your counselor. But if you're going to have it with anybody, you need to have it with the CMP examiner. And so that would be my advice going into a CMP, is just making sure that you are honest and uncomfortably vulnerable to tell your truth so you can get the ratings that you deserve. Did I stay under my time? You forgot to start the timer.
No, there's nothing to add there. I don't have anything for you. But no, and some comments actually did resound to that. Brian, on your side, what are you thinking?
Yeah. No, and so absolutely. One of the things, and speaking to your symptoms, like Amy said, is a really important one, and how that looks like, what that looks like in your life. I would say, when there are 31 symptoms that the VA rates in their rating table for mental health conditions. You don't have that much time in an exam to cover 31 symptoms if you have all 31 symptoms, as an extreme. So the point I'm trying to make is that you want to focus on the symptoms that are the most severe for you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have symptoms, and it's always important, always important to go back into the 38 CFR Part 4 and look at the rating criteria so that you understand what the VA is evaluating you on, and what that looks like on their rating table. That can help guide the focus of your conversation, because if you have symptoms that are sitting at 100% legitimately, you want to avoid wasting time talking about 30% or 50% symptoms. I know that sounds maybe a little awkward to say that, but the reality is you have limited time. So focus on the most severe symptoms, because the reality is you want to make sure that that examiner is recording those things, and you just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I would say is, as you walk, and this really is applicable to any type of exam, but particularly when you're walking into a mental health CMP exam, understand that when you get out of your car and you're walking into that facility, that exam has already started. And I say that because what they're looking at is if you're getting out of your car, you're whistling a tune, skipping along, something out of a Disney movie, and then you open the door, and all of a sudden your countenance has fallen, so to speak. You're downtrodden and you look just despondent. Well, that's an obvious red flag, right? That you're putting on an act. So understand that you're being observed basically from the time that you get out of your car to the time that you get back into your car. And part of that is they're observing you even while you're sitting there in the waiting area. They're observing you when they come out to greet you. This is one of those things that can get anybody. And people don't realize that this could be a catcha or a gotcha moment. But when that examiner greets you and asks you how you're doing, that's, we're all used to that obligatory
Yeah.
greeting, right? How are you doing? When most of the time people ask that, they don't really care. It's just a way of opening the communications, right? In this case, when an examiner comes out and they ask you how you're doing, that's actually part of the evaluation. And the gotcha moment is if we provide that reflexive response that we're so used to giving that, yeah, I'm fine, everything's great. You just tanked your CMP exam right there. You set it off on a bad foot because the reality is they're going to remark that. They're going to take note of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so how do you go from, yeah, I'm doing fine to just 5 minutes later talking about how you have grossly inappropriate behavior, how your relationships are non-existent, you know, you have all these severe symptoms, but how are you doing? Fine, right? So speak the truth. The reality is that's a mental health CMP exam is probably one of the most uncomfortable days that you'll have in your life, particularly as you go through a VA claims process.
Mm-hmm.
And I always refer to a mental health CMP exam as the most uncomfortable conversation you will ever have, because I can tell you right now, I will not talk about as openly to anybody what I have to say in that CMP exam, because the reality of it is, if I don't let it all out there, then I'm only doing a disservice to me and my family, and the type of benefits that I might be eligible for as the rater comes back with a decision based off of how I conducted myself and the kind of information I shared during that exam. So just, it's always nerve wracking, but take comfort in knowing that it's a time box moment. That exam is going to end. You're going to be able to walk out to your car. You're going to be able to decompress. And that decompression may not be instant, but at least you're not facing that conversation anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So be open and vulnerable. Absolutely. Do not hold back. Understand that you are being evaluated from the time you get out of your car to the time you get back into your car. And make sure that you focus on your most severe symptoms. Because you have limited time, use that time wisely. And one last little pro tip: if you have a hard time, and I know this applies to me and applies to a lot of people, when you get into an exam, your brain starts locking up. You can't
Mm-hmm.
recall what it is that you're trying to that you wanted to tell the examiner, and it could be something that's just dadgum. I see stuff that ain't there. I hear stuff. I have all these other issues, but they ask you these questions like, I can't think of anything. So a 3x5 index card with
Yep.
memory prompts,
Mm-hmm.
uh, there's nothing wrong with it. You're not taking in a script to read from. You're taking in something that's okay, doc. I just got something here because I have a hard time remembering what I'm trying to say. You mind if I refer to this real quick? And and just use it as a memory prompt to say, okay, now I remember I need to tell you about this. So
Mhm.
don't be afraid to do that. Um, because the reality is that for most of us, walking into that CMP exam, because the anxiety is so high, because we're already kind of pushed to the edge because of that experience, that memory card can be a very good thing. So
I just want to jump in. I Everything you said is awesome, Brian. I tell my clients all the time to do that memory card. I all the time. I just even if it's just small bullets that you want to hit, whether it's family, work, home, whatever, marriage, whatever it is. I love that tip. That's a great tip. And I want. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry,
Say something.
DP had flashed on the screen. Sorry, see my brain, I get tunnel vision. Uh, Roger asked the question, how do you open that door? I assume that you're talking about that greeting. How do you open that door, that conversation? I'll tell you what I've done personally. I told the examiner that, I could be better. Not having to be here would be a good start. I'm really anxious. My anxiety is off the charts. I tell them how I'm feeling, and I'll be actually during the whole exam. The guy's kind of periodically checking on me. He's like, "You really don't want to be here, do you?" It's like, "Oh, you can tell that, can you?" No, I don't want to be here. Let's get through this, so I can get out of here because I don't want to be here any longer than I have to. So be honest.
Yep.
You, you're not fine because you're there for
Right.
the mental health exam. Why? If you're fine, you wouldn't be there.
Right. So I would also wanted to just touch to comment on Roger. So, you had made a couple comments, Roger, and Lisa's right. Like you always have us. That's what this space is for, and we're here for you. And everybody is just we like to hang out on Friday nights and have a good time, but really reach out. That's what we're here for, and I can totally empathize with you and relate to you when you say that talking to other people or kind of taking on other people's problems kind of fills you. And I think that is a true empath. Um, and so empathy is a thing for sure. And so when you can do that, and we've had these conversations amongst us as a team, that sometimes you have to kind of take yourself back a little bit and remember that they're not your problems and you can only do so much to help others. But at the same time, as much as you're there to help others, it's okay to let others help you too. And it's okay to let people check on you and ask you how you're doing. Or if you need to talk, to reach out to any of us and, at any time, and we'll listen, we'll jump on a call with you and hang out with you and hold space with you. And that's what we're here for. This is all about connecting and, being there for one another. And so find your people and stick with them. And remember that, we always say check on your strong friends. And the heaviest thing to pick up is a phone, and it works both ways. So checking on somebody or, checking in with somebody for your own mental health is a thing too. And so be strong for others. That's very admirable, but also let others be strong for you too. So thank you for contributing and asking. And you are definitely being vulnerable with us and kind of sharing your story. So I appreciate that. And I just wanted to give you a shout out. Okay, I'm done.
No, no, I think that's spot on there. A quick shout out to our brother Jose in the house as well. JR
Jose,
is in the house.
Oh, yes.
So, when it comes down to the stuff we've talked about a lot of, and we always make a point to talk about, you know, how you approach all this, and it really comes down to mindset, right? So, to the Fraser piece, and the tips part is understanding why you're there. To Roger's question, right? How do you even start? Like Brian said, it starts before you even leave your house because we run on autopilot so much, right? We're used to being camouflaged, and I always say that, with the exception of our brother who just literally left, our Air Force brother, who's supporting Amy, so we won't say that too loud here. But with the exception of him, for example, on Glenn's side of the house, you know, we left our uniform and got out of uniform a long time ago, right? You don't wear camos, camis, camouflage, BDUs, whatever you call them. However, psychologically, you did not. He's going to literally throw a rock at me. See that? They're ganging up on me with my friends. But the reality is that the mindset aspect of understanding how you're coming into this, right? Because we blend. We know how to blend into places, right? It's not just a military thing. We know how to just have the canned answer, right? Monday mornings, how was the weekend? Same old, same old. We're on autopilot. We don't say shit, right? Everything we do is just lip service. And it's almost like you have to make a cognizant effort to be someplace. So when you think about mindfulness, when you think about, when you're reaching out to certain people or you're trying to work on being in the moment, it's an active, hard thing to do because we're so programmed to just go through the motion. We have to almost like intentionally be there. If you remember that old Adam Sandler movie, Click, which is weird. I don't know why that movie I always remember when it comes to the statement. But it's a movie with Adam Sandler with a remote control. And he literally fast forward through all the periods in life that he does not want to wait through. And sadly, those were the moments when the kid took a step, when those moments happened, and all the kid saw was a zombie going through stuff. And eventually he's in his old age and he missed all the best parts of his life. I say that to say that part of this whole concept of a disability claim, the reason we are talking claims, crypto, and, NFTs and other things is because as veterans, we live in the past. All right. My best days were when I used to run like the wind, when I used to be able to move, when I used to be able to do fill in the blank. And that's, like the best times that we had. And we tend to almost go from a place of being, ready operationally to not being ready. Think about it, right? You join the military, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, but you learn and you're trained. And you're trained to be ready for what should happen, right? When you join the military, I don't care, and that's why, again, what branch of service and what year, and we'll riff a lot and do stuff, but I'll say this. When it comes down to the military, our job, our focus was simply to conduct the business that many few people would want to conduct. And I don't care what you do. If you joined the Navy, you brought the fucking power from from the water, period. When you need naval power, I'm telling you, there is no sight that will not give you goosebump like seeing the fucking armada coming fucking moving. You see the 7th Fleet coming? Trust me. You say that, you get fucking goosebumps. Because that is the entirety of naval power coming. Cannot sleep on it. You talk about freaking, you need air support close. Who the fuck brings the bang, right? Think about it. When it comes down to, what everybody does, it's a concerted effort. So it's like a family. We'll joke around with each other. But when it comes time to pick a fight, trust me, all those cousins that can't stand each other, look, you cannot break that fucking front. So we're coming from the air. We're coming from the sea. We're coming from the land. And we're throwing Marines everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Littoral fights, you name it, we do that thing. But if you think about it, that's not what happens all the time. So what do? We train for that, right? Like, for example, I just said that. And the very first thing that Roger says is amen to the armada, right? Because that's what the fuck you do, right? You get ready to fucking whoop ass. When you train, what do? Right? And when you're field artillery, right? What's the saying? You yell, we shall. Right? When the shit goes down, field artillery. I need freaking close freaking firepower. Because this ain't working. Army's doing something, can't do it. And the reason I say that is because that's the mentality that we're operating in the military. To prepare for the day when we have to do the business that we pray we don't have to do, but we're fucking ready to do. That's a mindset of leaning forward. That's a mindset of when it hits the fan, trust me, you'll like Mathis said and the president said, and you have seen, you will never, and this is a Marine Corps statement, but I'll say it to the whole military, you will never find a better friend than a Marine, than a service member. But don't meet us on the battlefield because I'm telling you, they will cry for the blood that you will spill, because we're gonna fucking kill you. That's what we do, right? So today, right? And again, think about this, right? Because it's in theme with this. Now Roger says, would give all for you. Why is it that in service that's what happens? There was nothing heroic about Roger. Roger saw something was coming, and fuck that. Brian is not going to get hurt today. Get out the way. Instinctual, right? Because you're operating in a, where's it coming from, right? I'm not sitting here like, wait a second, I don't fucking want, I want to live, I have dreams. But if some shit's coming, fuck out the way. Because what matters is not politics, not race, not color. Yes, things are broken. Yes, these things are there. But when the shit hits the fan, and what you see to your right is freaking Roger, and you see Brian and Amy's there, guess what? It's go time. All that other shit means nothing. We leave service, and that sense of brotherhood, sisterhood, togetherness is gone. You trained up to this mentality. You trained up to this position of readiness, right? That's the thing, right? Readiness. How are you ready? You're always ready to go, right? Pack the bag, ready to go. Short notice, it's go time. So now you're gone. Now you're not serving. No more readiness. Now it's stories of when everything I said was what we did. When the Armada came, we were in that bitch. When it was time to do something, we fucking made it happen. Now we just talk about it, see a movie, get misty-eyed, and talk about the things that we used to do and the people that we may have lost. So we're past tense now. We're no longer future. A 17-year-old kid in the military, he learns that, hey, the reason you have to make your bed, the reason you have to do this stuff is because when it's go time, your shit needs to be ready. That's what a kid learns. It's not, oh, you learn how to be, responsible. No, you need to be, it's readiness. That's the secret. How do you get ready? It's being ready. Why do we get up in the morning? Because the day you need to run is not the day you have to be ready to run. You need to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Mm-hmm. So now what I'm saying here is the way we begin to fix this, right? To Roger's point as to who cares and who does that, this, right? It's not fucking flowery bullshit talk. It's here. We're fucking here. We're having a conversation. And that's why when Roger says something, right, or someone says something, we're making a point to have a conversation. And we're bringing up your talk because it's an interactive moment for us. We're using technology to be here. But now that we have us here and we're talking about awareness, let's take it one step further. Because if you're a veteran and you experience things and have dealt with things, you are due benefits that you're leaving on the table. And you don't know what you don't know, but guess what? There's a lot of shit we fucking know. So we're going to tell you. And that's why we're going to talk claims and crypto. Because it's not just, hey, I got my rating, right? Roger got his rating, got helped. Great, right? We've remedied some of the past. But you're still in the past. Any veteran who gets rated still remains in the past. I have migraines, a bad back, all these stuff because of what I did in service. What I am saying now is when the time comes, what about moving forward? What about what's ahead? What I am saying is I don't give two shits what is your age or what you're dealing with. We have the ability to look at readiness again. And the way we do those things, right, is simply that, right? So what does this mean? It's not just veteran support. Okay, you got your benefits. You got some help. Okay, cool, right? Maybe some more disposable income, but now let's get proactive. Let's start doing stuff. I understand you don't have $2 to rub together. You got your rating, a few extra dollars. You weren't expecting to have an extra 1,000. You weren't expecting to have 3,000. You have it now. Now the question is, what do? We don't spend it on dumb shit. Readiness. Readiness means we need to start looking at what are those software services, what are those things that are happening that are out there that can give a veteran the ability to be tactical and smart. Not, oh, I'm a veteran and I didn't get, you know what? No one's going to give me shit. So here's my response to people from a business perspective. Don't thank me for my service. Give me your fucking business. Don't thank me for my service. Because if you truly thank me for my service and I'm trying to put together a business or do something, then make a point to support the business with more than your words, but use your wallet. Because you're going to buy a hat anyway, so why the fuck wouldn't you buy our shit? You're going to buy friggin' something, why don't you buy Amy's business? Why don't we support Roger's idea? Why don't we do those things, right? So building that ecosystem comes into this of saying, hey, there are veteran software service. What does that mean? Bots. We got bots running. We have things that are happening. You know what? I'm not going to show you a thing, but Brian said I would show you a thing. But look, I don't know. That may be Apple. I may have trades. Things may be happening. You know what I mean? Oh, that's crazy. That's stuff like that's how we'll show it to you. Not today, another day. When I look at it, this is how I look at it. 8 different things I might be tracking. But again, we're not talking about that right now. But why should I have access to that and not you? Not just I bought Apple stock. Okay, that's cute. Again, so's that one. But talk to me about Ethereum. Talk to me about Solana. Talk to me about Amazon. Talk about this. Oh, someone's doing it from that. No, own your shit, right? Oh wow, but things are going red right there. Guess what? I make money when it goes down. Longs and short. Do you know what shorting stocks are? So when that thing goes all the way down, I'm like, yeah, because I'm betting it's going to go down. Again, for another day. But that's stuff that we can begin to discuss, we can begin to talk about, and there are things like trading bots. What I just showed you are available to veterans. That's coming. Maybe I had some meetings today. Maybe I didn't. Maybe some softwares may come up. Maybe they might not. Maybe some, subscriptions to systems might be available. But if Amy now has her rating and has an additional $100, right? You got $1,000 increase. Okay, put 100 of that into this and just try to make that make something for you. Understand assets to expenses and liabilities. So some of these things will be there, right? Education, conversations, crypto, NFTs, some automated stuff, set it and forget it. It's out there. If it exists, then why the shit can we not have it? The end. Again, you guys don't have to pay attention to it, but hey, look, I'll go ahead and freaking play with it. So, you know what I mean? Don't ever say we don't know, because that's part of let's get ready now. But I don't know what this means. You couldn't run 2 miles, but you figured it out by the end of boot camp. So guess what? We're going to help and point you and give you support for, yes, the veteran, let's go ahead and do the little thing people seem to like, we'll take Amy here and make her fly a little bit. So yes,
there you go.
Yes, she helped you. Yes, we helped you over here, but let's move over now, because that's the thing. Every veterans come and think about it, right? Okay, you got your rating, you're good, but there's something else out there. Move forward. Investing for tomorrow. Move forward. Maybe you have a business idea. Let's begin to develop it. Let's begin to help each other. Veteran business development is just that thing. But what does that mean? It means that, guess what? If you have an idea, you have the ability to do these things. Now, someone might say, well, I don't know the first thing about starting a business. You know the first thing about doing your job, but you learned, right? So what I'm trying to say is that if I have been able to build businesses and do things, it's not rocket science, because if I can do it, you can do it. But it's about having conversations and beginning to break stigma. So yes, we're going to talk benefits. Yes, we're going to talk, different things. And yes, we're going to talk business, because guess what? Wherever you are, we want to meet you. You got your rating. Great. Now what's up with that VA home loan? What's going on with that business? You always talk about this daggone thing. Go fix the problem. The biggest hack to any business. I'll save you right now 4 years and 6 years of MBA in business school. I have bachelor's and 2 masters. Check my LinkedIn, it's in there. And I will tell you this, the secret to business at the foundational level is solving problems. If you can wrap your head around that, we're in business. What do you want to do, Roger? Well, I had an idea, but what problem are we solving is the question I will always ask. Why? Not because I want to denigrate you. What I'm saying is, what are we solving? Because a doctor helps that pain, the sickness. A lawyer helps that legal situation. A taxi driver gets you from point A to point B. A restaurant provides food. A supermarket houses solving problems. So now what are problems that are out there? And the thing is, many of you know problems because you're always pointing it out. 20 times. Brian, Amy, you don't understand. If fucking veterans would just understand how simple this shit is. Like, this shit's not rocket scientist. Yeah, I've been in crypto since 2017. I've been able to do some stuff. And you know what? I didn't know how to read this thing from a hole in the wall. And guess what? This thing to me now reads like a regular English 101. It's crazy. I was able to just go ahead and figure it out. If veterans would only understand, what this is and make it simple, I think I've discovered a problem, right? So my own then recipe here is enough of me saying, you guys can do this, pay attention. Well, then let's just go ahead and solve a problem. And that's what this is, right? Veterans need help with benefits. We understand how that works. We keep talking about it. We're solving problems. Veterans want to understand how about investments and crypto, NFTs, and different type of things. We know how to do that. We've done it successfully. We're solving problems. Veterans have an idea. They may want to go into business, but they feel shy or may feel they have no worth or nobody's going to pay attention. Well, guess what? Nobody gave a shit about what I was saying, but here we are still talking. So the point at hand is we're solving problems. And the problem here is simply just saying, hey, let us try. Because guess what? We train to do a lot of things in service, but sometimes we never did that thing. We may have not deployed. We may have not done something. So, hey, what do you lose if you try to put a business together? And you know what? It may not go to the moon. It may not go crazy. But the fact is you have the ability to at least try, right? Because the hardest thing, right, like the gym, is just showing up. Once you're doing it, once you're there, things just start happening. Today I had a meeting with an old business acquaintance, and because I am the way I am, I keep relationships, and it's like, hey, DP, can you come down? I want to show you something. I think your veterans might be able to, benefit from this. I could benefit from it myself. But when I go someplace, if you know me, I don't use the word or the letter I. I didn't do crap. We, us, because that's the only way we start to break down things. So my point in saying all that is, that's how we have to start looking at things from a mindset perspective, right? CMP wise, it's a mindset. Today I have a CMP. Today I put the bullshit to the side. I've been dealing with all this stuff. This is where I'm at. Pull out a journal, write some stuff. If my CMP is tomorrow, where am I at tonight? Tomorrow's my CMP, where am I at tonight? Pull out a journal, write something, be real. The same way Roger is talking, the same way people in the chat are talking. There's two things that are happening here, right? I'm saying something, but if you're here live, there's a conversation happening in the chat. That's the benefit about being here live. You can watch it on the replay, but you won't have Lisa and Eric and Roger and us here interacting with you because it's a reason, right? So my point is, we have the ability to get ourselves in the right mindset, and it's maybe saying, hey, I might be fucked up, but I'm working towards something. But the reality is, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm dealing with. And when I get to that CMP tomorrow, you call a spade a spade. How are you feeling? No, realistically, tell me how you are feeling. They will not extract that from you. Your job is simply to be real for that one moment. If you could be real just for that one moment, it's like, hey, DP, how are you feeling? Like shit. Thanks for asking. There's no script here. It's be yourself, right? Like, because if I talk about the Armada, guess what I say? We're going to fucking kick their ass. That's the fucking military. That's how I talk. Well, we're going to execute some maneuvers and overtake the... No, we whoop fucking ass. 4th squad, we're good? Battalion 1, we ready? Let's go. That's it. No big war speech was fucking talked with niceness. What did Patton say? We're going to grease the wheels of our tanks with their blood from their fucking guts. Look it up. The blood of our enemies will grease the wheels of our tanks. Our heroes. Right? Mindset. How I'm going to whoop your ass in battle. Mindset. I'm going to go into the CMP and I'm going to fucking tell you for the first time in my life probably what's going on. I want to leave my wife. I want to leave my house. I don't care for my kids. It's the fucking truth. If you don't give a shit about something, that's where you are at. You're not a bad person. You're dealing with things that have you in a place where you cannot focus on that. You want to. In here. You want to care. But shit's happening where guess what? That connection ain't happening. There's care in here, but this is saying fuck out of my face. And if this doesn't say it, my face says it. My actions say it. My absenteeism say it, right? There's a disconnect because of injury. Things are not firing the way they should. There's a psychological block of what's happening, right? So say it. Oh, well, how would they look at me? No worse than your fucking kids and your wife and your fucking people who fired you have left you. What are we talking about? Like, now you care what people think about you? You didn't give two shits a day ago, so why now? I'm not going to see a CMP examiner again. Game on. I walk into the CMP exam, simple. I don't like to sit with my back against the wall. And what Brian is saying, right, it's not about being crazy. It's about saying be yourself unapologetically. If I don't want my back against a goddamn door, guess what I'm not going to do today? Not in this fucking CMP. Hey, doc, I don't feel comfortable here. Oh, I have to, well, look, two options. I'm not gonna sit here. It makes me feel uncomfortable. It's making me anxious. I'm already having a situation. So before you even start, it's starting off in a bad fucking way. I got cut off getting like, look, how much time you got? Don't ask questions you don't want answers to, right? So that's the whole point. And it's not script. It's just saying talk your truth. Talk about that situation that happened. Frazier, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to understand. My brother Frazier called me. I still remember that, Frazier. I remember when you got cut off and you called me and where you were at. And you still got a CMP. And they don't get that. Shit. And that was years ago. But think about how many other people had a situation happen probably today or yesterday where someone cut you off and you saw red. Or God knows what you may have done. Or who had to go bail you out. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is the reality we deal with. So it's about being real, because what we do is we go to the CMP exam and we say things like, well, I just been having a hard time. I have some issues, but blah, blah. You're not saying anything, right? To Brian's point, oh, wow, get used to it. It's not just me talking on my ass. This is literally just the law. The CFR. The CFR is telling you these are the symptoms. So if you literally have these things up here, right, for mental health, stop talking about things down here at the 30. I have some anxiety. I have some sleep issues. I have some panic. No, we're past that. Let's be real for a second. You don't have difficulty establishing and maintaining effective relationship. We're past that, Playboy. You have an inability. Words mean things. Do you hear telling people to say it's freaking online? What I'm saying is pay attention that words mean things. There is a difference between an inability and a hard time doing something. Difficulty, inability. Be real with yourself. Do you have a hard time making friends, or you cannot make friends? There's a difference. And for many of you all, that makes a difference of a rating at a 50 or a 70, because you're not telling your truth. It ain't coaching. It's about giving you the raw reality of what this is. A CMP, to Roger's question, says, Lisa put there, is a compensation and pension exam. You are saying you're having these issues. The VA is going to bring you in and say, okay, well, talk to me, Roger. What's going on? And Roger has to be able to say if he has inability or has difficulty. DP has to say if he has this or he has that, right? So again, it's understanding that you must be able to tell your truth. Because if you can get that, trust me, things begin to kind of come together better, but it's because you have the ability to at least speak about your truth and say what's really going on, which is the hard part for us as veterans. So that applies to everything. If it's a mental health CMP, tell your truth. If it's a physical condition, say what hurts. If I can't bend over and reach my toes, don't try to go do it. This ain't the time to show off. No, this hurts. I have sciatica. This thing's not working. Moving on. So being honest, being real would be the best thing. Having notes, it's not a problem for mental thing, but think about it, right? Roger said something here in the chat, which I thought was kind of funny here. Not funny, rather, but it was cool. He says DP is totally firing for effect. Army talk for, yeah, we're fucking hitting rounds, dead center mass. We're not gonna talk, bullshit and talk around and, vagueness. No. Center mass. Fucking shoot to kill. The end. Get her done. Fire for effect. But in this case here, that's what we want to do when you come to the CMP. It's your mentality. If you understand how to get yourself in the mentality to tell your truth for that one day, and then you go back to bullshitting everybody else, guess what? You're firing for effect. And the system's broken and things may not work and your strategy is there and sometimes they get it wrong. And it's not a fault on you whatsoever. And that's where having a coach or having whoever you choose to have with you has got to have your back. Because I'll tell you, listen to me, please. Veteran benefits, advice, education on finances, business education. You need someone to help you. Not DP saying patronize my business. I am saying that the heavyweight champion of the world in the sport of boxing, that the championship team in any sport, pick it, basketball, baseball, hockey, any professional athlete, they all have one thing in common: a coach. Mike Tyson wasn't going in there doing his work by himself. You seen Rocky, right? Get up, you bum. You need someone in that corner to help you. And I don't care if it's me, if it's Amy, if it's Brian, but don't go at this shit alone, because we don't win wars alone. I don't care how good I say the Army is. The Army ain't shit if we're pinned down and I don't have air support. It ain't shit if the Navy's not there to freaking block and do its thing. We have got to strategically move together. There's times when I need big Army, but there's times when I need the Marines. What the need is, I must deploy, and that's how we operate. So in this instance, if you're going for benefits, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Oh, I can do it by myself, because you can Google stuff and things out there for free. You can Google how to box, and I bet you ain't gonna beat nobody's ass. You can Google how to do surgery, but I bet you ain't gonna be doing no surgery that makes sense, right? You look at WebMD for a cough, and you're thinking you have cancer. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, do research. Yes, information is free. But what I'm saying is, let's not kid ourselves. Sometimes you need more help than what you have the ability to do. I can probably break down a wall and put some, wall up and tile and do. Yeah, but you know what? They have someone professional for that. Can I replace some pipes here and do some plumbing? There's plumbers for that. Stick to what you're good at. Stay in your lane. When it comes to this stuff, guess what? I'm not firing for effect. It's fucking what I do. I can talk about claims all bloody day because I've done this shit ad nauseum with thousands of veterans at a high accuracy of success. And then I did it so well that I had to get more people. And then Amy came to work. And then Brian came to work. And then Linda. And then Sean. And then people in the chat. And at the height, we had about 20 coaches down nearly. Because it was, hey, we're fucking doing shit, right? So my point is not because we're better. It's because we got the reps. So wherever you go, whoever you choose to reach out to, make a point to make sure that they have the ability to back up what they're talking about. Because if they can't, talk is cheap, right? So that's what I really want to impress on everyone, because when it comes to this, we have to move away from a place of just going through the motions and talking about things in a way that really doesn't do any justice for getting help or serving or getting the proper information. One of the posts that I put up, for example, and this applies to everything we're doing. So, against the better judgment of my wife, when it comes to crypto and stuff, yeah, I've been around it since 17. And if you follow me on Facebook, there's something I shared the other day. This is, one of my trades right here. So let's not bullshit ourselves, right? Because no, because it's not. I read a book someplace. No, I took $1,000, right, in June, put it into this crypto, and fast forward some months, this thing goes up a little bit. $1,000 is worth $41.83. That's a 318% increase. There's about 3,000 changes and stuff. So I bought in at 20 something all the way down here and bought it and got up there, right? But don't want to talk about that because people, you made $3,000. Okay, and then you'll never learn how to do a thing, right? Yep. So this is not about sharing too much. This is about being realistic. That hey, look, yes, this right here. Oh, there's about a $3,000 increase because I was able to put $1,000 in something and was able to, realize a gain. That would be amazing, man. If I only could. Why can't you? I just showed it to you. I'm not better than you. Right? Are there some losses? Yeah. Are there some wins? Yeah. But in this space, I implore you, you do not understand the speed. So if you're telling me that from June to now, $1,000 turned into $4,300? Yeah. And I sold and took profits, and I've talked about it on my post. Okay. That's crazy, right? Well, my regular investments don't do that stuff. Okay, yeah. Right? So in crypto, that's how things move. But guess what? The crypto is one aspect. This crazy thing with freaking NFTs. I'm not saying I got this. I'm just saying this is literally a good case study. Maybe Amy got it. This is a project that launched. I want to say, you know what? Let's go ahead and take it to this other screen because I really want to show you all the stuff, because if you don't see it, it becomes just some hyperbole in a distance. Yes, there's good wallets. Yes, there's stuff. We'll give you links, referral, download stuff. But let's just really talk about a few other things here. So we'll talk about cryptocurrencies, share some things. Specifically for NFTs, it's built on top of cryptocurrencies, right? So you've heard of Bitcoin. We talked a little bit about it last time. That's amazing. $54,000. Man, that's crazy. I can never buy a whole Bitcoin. Nobody said you do. You can buy a fraction of it, right? So we're going to give a fraction away, right? So that's the one thing there. It is 10:32. We got 5 minutes. The first person that makes a point to go to veteransnetwork.club, send an email in there where it says contact us, veteransnetwork.club. Oh man, I wish I could show you. I bet I can. Wow, look at that. Come over here, contact us. Come up here, give us your name, give us your last name, give us your email, and in the message, put Bitcoin. I needs me some or something. That's the whole right. FNL Bitcoin for that one.
And be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like this video. That's part of our check.
Right. So send us a message. Let us know if you have a username, what it is, because we're going to look for it. Right. So send us a message. We'll check to make sure you're following us on YouTube and liking the video, and we're going to pick someone and send them some Bitcoin. So $100 in Bitcoin is going out to that person who we're going to pick. So the timer starts now. If you don't have a wallet and you don't know about that stuff, don't worry. If we pick you and you get selected, we will then reach out to you and show you what wallet to get and make sure we give you the pieces to do that thing. So again, if you're all fancy like Gino who's out there, yes, you'll probably put your wallet address. So if you have a wallet, put your address and then we'll just go straight. If you don't have one, say Friday Night Live Bitcoin, but what am I supposed to do? Oh my God, hold on now. Oh, Glenn came in there quick, fast, but I don't know. 2 emails came at the same time. So we're gonna have to look at the timestamps because there's literally 2 that slid in. We got Eric who did it like a fast rush, and then Glenn did a tactical maneuver, and they both have the same timestamp.
Fractions of a second.
They have the same timestamp. So, woo! But it's not the first one. We're gonna pick from there, and basically reach out. So let's not get too crazy now. He's just like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? Calm down. You got 5 minutes.
Yep, and don't forget to smash that subscribe and like button.
Exactly.
That's part of the check.
Yeah, so if you didn't put that information in there as far as what your username is, guess what? Might have a problem. But my point is, we talked about Bitcoin a little bit last time. Here, it's crazy, man. Like, wow, this is amazing, blah, blah, blah.
Can I just say something real quick? Shout out to Air Force Glenn for that quickness.
Well, look, hey.
Air Force is the best.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, it is. All right, so the only thing I'll say about this, because it's not going to be a Bitcoin conversation, what I'm saying is, imagine if you had $100 back in 2017 in Bitcoin when Bitcoin was worth $4,000, right? Again, like it or hate it, believe it or not, all I'm saying is that maybe somebody with a beard that's out of regulation may have bought Bitcoin back in that time frame because he was looking at it maybe back here and said, damn it. So think about this for a second. When people like myself looked at Bitcoin here, said $2,000-$3,000, I can't buy a whole Bitcoin. I put half. I'll buy 100, whatever. Like, this is crazy. When did you buy it, Billy? Billy got it at $200. I'm like, ugh, right? And then now you look at today's price. It's just like, okay, this is ridiculous. Well, what if I told you that 54,000 may not be the end? What if I told you it goes to 100,000? What if I told you it goes to 400,000? Right? Impossible. 54,000 back in 17, I would have laughed in your face. Again, we'll do a deep dive on that another day. But as a whole, the entirety right now of what the whole space, now think about this, the whole space of crypto as a whole, in this time frame here back in the day, Bitcoin's entire market cap, aka the amount of how much it was worth, is basically today what it holds by itself. So all of crypto, literally, Bitcoin has surpassed it. So, back in the day it was billions. I'm here to tell you that today, Bitcoin as a whole, right, is holding a market cap of, what's this, 100,000 million, billion, trillion. So $1 trillion. 100,000 million, billion, trillion. I wonder why CNN and all these lawmakers are getting so, because at that level of play, you don't, again, back in the day, right? Looking at crypto as a whole, back in the day, the market cap and the whole market cap of everything right now is $2.2 trillion, right? Other sectors is 100 trillion, 10. Like, trust me, this is nothing compared to what's really out there. So that's why it's like, look, if this becomes a player, there's a lot of room to run. However, consider this. I'm saying that here, 100,000 million billion, 18, 200 billion for everything. All of crypto was 200 billion. And I'm telling you that Bitcoin alone is a trillion. So when you said, oh, Bitcoin can go to a trillion, you'd laugh. Who's
You know
laughing
what
now?
would be really amazing, DP, is if a country actually used Bitcoin as a currency.
There's no such thing. Nonsense.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
A country adopting Bitcoin as a local,
Can that happen?
I think it did. So what I'm saying here is that you get, understanding where these things may be going. Hey, yes, you may have not gotten into it before, but you have the ability to begin to learn. You put $5 into this, you start to at least understand, ask questions, get to understand why these things are happening. Sovereign states have adopted it as legal tender. And think about this, right? So we literally have El Salvador now who has adopted Bitcoin as a legal tender. I can send Bitcoins down to people down there. What that really means is that Western Union has lost hundreds of millions of dollars. Because anybody who's a minority knows that when you come to America, you work. But your family doesn't have a bank account back home, so how do you get money back there? Oh, remittance. Western Union. MoneyGram. If you've ever used it, those fees are astronomical. Millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. And I'm saying that now with this, that stuff is cut off. There's other things at play here, people. So my point here is that the Baghdadi that came after this now, number 2, here is Ethereum. Ethereum is basically another protocol on the crypto side of the house, but it operates as a ability to show smart contracts. I will say this. Ethereum is a busy place. A lot of things are happening on it. This whole NFT thing is happening on there. This thing I'm going to talk about up here as far as, this project, right, that we're going to call the Mecca. One of many, again, not everyone goes this crazy. But I want to show you this. I'm going to come to the converter. And I'm going to pick here Ethereum. And I'm going to say to you that if you wanted to buy one of these Meccas to the right, well, whatever you're looking at here, this launched yesterday. I put it on my Facebook page. This launched yesterday, this project, and this is one of the rare ones, so not all happens like this, but it was 0.2 Ethereum to buy one of these Meccas, right? This crazy concept. And in US dollars, as you see there in the middle, it's 713. That was literally 24 hours ago. In 24 hours, right, when you look at this, again, understanding what this means, and I'll bring it up here again in a second, but this little word over here is saying that they minted 8,800 pieces, right? There's 5,000 people who own this. This is how much has been traded in Ethereum, right? This is the floor price. The floor price means the lowest that you can buy one of these for now. So you're telling me that 24 hours ago, 0.2 is what one of them would have cost, which is 713. So what's the floor now? So you're saying the floor now is 599? I'm sorry, but let's try again because I think this might be glitching. If I want to buy one of these, it's 713, right? And now
$700.
right? So we got 713. But if I now want to buy or sell it or bought it at 0.2, $700, I now potentially have the ability to sell this for $21,000 in 24 hours.
Wow.
Oh, you thought that it was cute when you made $3,000 from June to now. And I'm telling you as a kid who, oh, but that's not real. Let's go check it out. So right now, this is OpenSea. This is live. What's happening, right? So it went down a little bit. Wow, 5.83. So I don't want to lie because the internet. 5.83, $20,000 and 800. So you went down, a few $100 there, right? So right now, activity for this Right now, 4 minutes ago, somebody paid 5.9, $20,000. 8 minutes ago, 5 point, 10 minutes ago. But this
You
is
just said
not
the
real.
highest Mecca sold for 15 yesterday.
My point is, this is happening. And if you know anything about, again, we're not going to get into the details of the exclusivity of what these things have as far as what their access. Some of these things are considered smart contracts. They are membership. They give you access to things. It's a whole, deeper dive that today is more like open your eyes and begin to ask and look. I'm going to show you here one of the Mac Daddies of the space, right? And you may have seen this at some point. It makes no sense to people. The Bored Ape Yacht Club. In April, you could have purchased a Bored Ape Yacht Club ape for what is it? I think it was 2 or 4. Let's just call it 6. So let's just call that 0.06. So about $200, right? So let's just call it $200. Fast forward from April to now, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, which brings itself, as you see here, a unique collectible with living experience on the blockchain of Ethereum. Your Bored Ape acts as your yacht club membership and grants you access to member-only benefits. I don't know. Maybe in the beginning of next month, they're renting a yacht. They have a New York get-together. There's a thing happening. Gary Vaynerchuk owns one of these things. Steph Curry bought one of these things. Oh, my God. I have membership to talk to people who are way out of my... Sounds like a country club, right? That's crazy. Who would pay money for a country club? That shit's cheap. Everybody joins a country club, right? So you're saying me that if I go to the Brian and DP Country Club, this gets me access? But this is plastic, Amy. This is plastic, but it gives me access to a country club? What happens at the country club? They serve food and I play golf? No, I get to talk to Jim, who owns 10 dealerships. Billy, who owns this, who owns... Why do people go to Harvard? You think it's for education? It's for networking. Right? Again, it's networking. Your degree means shit. Most of you have used it this many times. Networking, right? Me and my college buddy. So this plastic thing gives me access to have a conversation with someone like this. Everything I purchase, Brian, Amy, it's all with this, right? I never not use cash, right? Okay, fine. I use credit cards. I use my bank card, but I'm never going to use digital payment, Apple Pay, press, tap. It seems to me that we're doing digital things already, whether or not you care to admit it. When you bought your house, did you write a check or do ACH to move that money? Did you pull a briefcase with $500,000, or was it an electronic deposit transfer, right? Sounds like a lot of digital stuff, but hey, crazy stuff, right? My point being is, you're already doing this stuff. But DP, nobody uses this stuff. Tell me the last time you bought a newspaper, a magazine, or a hard CD. Oh no, it's all on your iPhone, iTunes, news apps, updates. Hell, when's the last time you turned on your television? Get with the times, people. My point being is, like it, hate it, we could debate it. Welcome to a new membership, right? Steph Curry, basketball players, business accolades, right? So let's just call it what it is. I want to be able to be in a place that I have access to talk to somebody and blah, 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 blah. You wouldn't say, well, DP, why would you waste your money on that exclusive country club where Obama is a member? Right? You won't give me shit there. Digital world, all right? My point being is, it costs $200 to be able to buy one of these things. Today's lesson, right? One of them was floor price. The floor price for an ape is $39.48. $39.48. $39.48. The cheapest ape is $141,000.
Can you zoom in on that, DP? I'm not sure if I see that number.
Hold on. Matter of fact, I'll do you one better. If I wanted to come here and buy an ape, I would literally see, okay, this is the price, $140,000. Now, there's a lot of these things, right? And that's fine, right? 10,000 of these pieces. Okay. So now, what if I were to say, you know, someone who has the ability to, I don't know, let's say, get something with a little more affluence to do something, right? So let me show you just what maybe some of these high rollers may be purchasing. So here is Rarity, right? This is looking at the rankings because they're all different. They have different things, whatever. Okay, got it. I want to look here at number 9. Look at number 9, right? It's a colorful ape. It's rare. It's not okay, whatever.
It's a pretty picture.
Pretty picture. This pretty picture was sold 9 days ago for 769 Ethereum. Wait, hold on for a second. What the heck is that? 769. 769. $2.7 million.
That's a really pretty picture.
So now my point here is I'm not saying you must pay 2.7 million. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, imagine if you had access to be in the company of the people that pay 2.7. Because maybe what you can do is be smart and have bought this at 200 or 400, or maybe you buy it at 100 grand. But what would that access cost you? What would be the benefit to you if you had access to certain people? We're in a digital world where you meet people that you would not understand. And having access to these communities and meetups and things gives you access to things. So there's two things here happening. There's an access, there's a thing, there's a business, people sell things, people buy things. Right now, activity. 20 minutes ago, somebody bought for 43. Hundreds of thousands of dollars are being transacted as we've been talking here all evening. This has been happening. Whether we like it or not. Right here, 99. Right? What's 99? Because we have to convert it. $353,000. If you wanted to buy a house, how much back and forth would you have to do to move that kind of money? And I'm telling you that while we've been here, enjoying our company, people are doing this stuff within the last 24 hours or so. So yes,
we don't have to go to like a broker and go through a closing process to process all this?
Nope. So, again, yes, there'll be more conversations about more deeper things. We got some emails that came in. It is 10:50. So the next 5 minutes, if you would like an NFT of a different variety, same situation applies. We need you to go ahead and head over to Twitter if you have Twitter and check out Veteran DP. Give it a follow if you have that. If not, same for YouTube, and give a follow, veteransnetwork.club. Go ahead and send us a message email, your user handle, so we go ahead and add you there. And we're going to pick one person to send them one of these NFTs. They vary and stuff, but again, to get you exposure, to get you into what these things are, because at the end of the day, you're going to get reps by actually getting into the space. So for the next 5 minutes, we'll start looking at those timestamps of folks that are able to go ahead and do that thing. So like, comment, and give us your information so we can go ahead and do that. I should be able to see based off our last. Let's see here. Do we have? Let's see. Yeah, so we have some likes. I see some names. I see some messages coming in. I see some Twitter messages coming in. Perfecto mundo. And if you're on Twitter, you see us there too. But really, again, and we'll pull up some questions here. But ultimately, it's in the comment section. Someone tell us if they are interested in this, but are skeptical or have no clue how to basically store this or what have you, or you're fearful. If that is you, let us know if you would like to do this, but don't have where to put it. And I mean by that to say that separate to that, in the comment section, we'll pick someone and we're going to get a Ledger Nano, which is a wallet where these things can go. So that challenge requires you to comment in the comment section. It is a flash giveaway that we will do there. But of course, please send us also the message on veteransnetwork.club and say commented wallet. That's all you need to put. That way we'll know, hey, we picked you and we have your information on that message, so we can go ahead and at least ship it to you. So on that message, name, email, and the message wallet and your mailing address, because we have to mail it to you. So that one requires your mailing address. But I think the only way we begin to break down some of these things is by having these conversations. Again, there's classes and things that we'll put together, but if there's a need, we'll meet it. We're gonna keep doing these things, and Brian's gonna keep killing it, and Amy's gonna keep flipping these things. But ultimately, it's not exclusive to just us. It doesn't matter if you're a veteran or not a veteran. The fact of the matter is, you have to learn and start somewhere. So that's really what this is. Brian, you've been getting your feet wet here as of recently. Tell us a little bit about your journey, because you haven't been in this for too long. So can you do two things? Tell us, one, how your journey has been coming along so far, because we're testing and trying things. We're getting deeper into that space, collaborating, creating business opportunities for some of our veterans. So there's a lot of things happening in the back end. But then also, can you tell me what this crazy thing is about DCA? Is that the airport?
DCA. Yeah, that's I've flown into DCA a lot of times. Yeah, the journey, man. I tell you what. So like you said, DP, I just started the journey into the crypto space probably not even a year ago. Maybe no more than a year ago for sure. But really and earnestly, just over the last 6 to 9 months. And I tell you what, it is a mind shift. When you're used to paper money, when you're used to looking for where's the only Blockbuster that's still open. Dadgum, I'm analog, man. Which is kind of sad because I was in technology. But yeah, it is a different mindset. But I tell you what, and there is a lot of information out there. There's been a lot of evolution in the maturity of the crypto space that I've learned very quickly. And so what you knew just 3 or 4 years ago, today the landscape is different. So because I know that whenever I first kind of looked at crypto, which was more than a year ago, it was so confusing to me. I just forgot about it and moved on. But today it's exciting. There's a lot of acknowledgement within the public space. And it's the NFTs have really taken off and exploded within the last several months. So there's a lot of movement. I was, if you couldn't tell, I'm really sarcastic a lot of times. So whenever I asked, could a country ever adopt Bitcoin as a currency? The reality is El Salvador already has, and there are other countries, I guarantee you, that are going to follow. And you can already use various crypto tokens to purchase things like a Tesla, like other products out there. So it is real, and it is going to continue to become more and more mainstream. If you don't know what it is that you're talking about, I mean, just trying to figure out what is a crypto wallet, that can be confusing. So if you're really just new to the space and it's all foreign language to you, this DCA, other than the airport that's right next to the Pentagon, I always thought that was cool, flying right over the middle of the Pentagon. But DCA is dollar cost averaging. So what's fairly safe way and an easy way to kind of get your toes wet into the crypto space? Dollar cost averaging is, all right, as an example, I'm going to set aside $25 a week, and I'm just going to have that automatically purchase some Bitcoin. $25, not 50,000. So I'm not buying a whole Bitcoin. I'm just buying a small fraction, and this adds up over time. So $25 a week. I'm using what? Swan Bitcoin. We happen to have a relationship with. Um, So again, you'll find some of these links on our website on the affiliates and NFT crypto tab on our website, veteransnetwork.club. Um, it makes it really easy to just start that journey down. And like DP said before, it's funny whenever you go out and buy that red vehicle that you start seeing that red vehicle, that same red vehicle all the time. When you start getting in and buying some Bitcoin and maybe some other coins just to kind of play around with, be careful. Don't sell your house and pour everything into it. Trust me, people have done that, and it's insane. Um, we kind of joke about it in part, but when we see somebody complain about they've lost their wedding money, they can't get married now because they lost all their money that was set aside for their marriage. Don't do that. Don't be irresponsible, but just start sampling the water. That builds up. That's dollar cost averaging, taking
And there, there,
slices at
there,
a time.
there's a great example, right? So if you actually go to swanbitcoin.com,
Oh, there we go.
shameless plug /DP because, we expend energy here. This is not my quote, by the way, but it's cool they put it up there with my stuff. So this is, for the
Come
Veterans
on.
Network referral piece. So if you do that, they'll go ahead and actually give you $10 to your account from scratch. And it's a wallet and everything there as well. So that's pretty seamless there. But this is actually a good example, a segue to Roger's question. I understand blockchain, but the risk to me is insane to me. And that's really where now you start to have to zoom out, right? So, for example, if I were to look at coin market cap, and again, this is just kind of like, where we can just see majority of things happening. I always make a point to always say zoom out. If I come here and just show you, a 1 day trend, oh, that's crazy, up and down. Look at the 7 day, look at the 1 month, look at the 3 month, look at the 1 year, look at the year to date, look at everything. So my point is that this is just the reality of what's happening. And again, not everything is going to be a winner. I am not saying that. What's good about CoinMarketCap is when you come here, for those that have never been here, you go to CoinMarketCap. It's very user friendly. When you come here, you'll see the first main page. It will have the cryptocurrencies of the day, information, gainers, etc., and then the rankings right here. You have the ability to go into Bitcoin right here, and you can see their website, you can see the community, you can see the white paper, and white paper being like, what exactly is this supposed to be? And what's cool here is you have the ability, again, even in Ethereum, right? Zoom out to the entirety of it all. So as a whole, yes, when you zoom in, it's crazy when you look at the past 3 months or a month, right? Like, oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Zoom out. Because again, the biggest thing here is one, not financial advice. Do your own research, but you don't know what to research if you don't know what to talk about or what to look up. So that's one. Two, you never invest more than you're willing to lose. And this is where I think this is key here, because it's about being realistic to the daily cost averaging. I think I just have it on auto set and I forget about it. But over time, if in this instance here, you have the ability to, by this example, put $50 a week. I'm not saying do this thing. This is an example. $50 a week, right? Over the last 3 years would have turned $7,800 into $59,000. You're already putting $50 into some Starbucks or some crazy crap as is, or you may be having in a savings account. But guess what? That 0.001 and inflation and everything is going to do what? So what I like about this site also is because when we scroll down here, right? Think about it. I just told you that because if you just keep it in our standard places of where money's at, when you put money in the bank uses that money to lend and make money. You don't make money on that money. Here's what happens to your money. Over time, it begins to lose its buying power. It's not that back in the day the money went longer. Back in the day, there was just more money, period. More money is being printed, right? Deficits, debt. So look at what's happening here overall. 90% of our purchasing power from the 50s have been lost. So that's the reality. So I'm saying if this is happening here on the currency side, on the fiat side, then what's happening here? And again, you start looking into corporations like MicroStrategy, Paul Tudor, Sabos, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. All these billionaires are buying Bitcoin at an alarming rate. MicroStrategies, Michael Saylor, billionaire, runs a company. Guess what? Michael Saylor, let's look at MicroStrategy and Bitcoin. So MicroStrategies has bought more than 100,000 Bitcoins. They currently have, as of right now, it's obviously they just bought some more stuff, but over 100, 114 I think was the last number I saw, but 100,000 Bitcoin, over $1 billion. Now let's take that into context here. What is it that people like Michael Saylor, right? Paul Tudor, billionaire investors, right? How much do they own? How much do they have? You know, a billionaire who runs an investment fund is saying he likes to call Bitcoin a great portfolio diversifier to protect his wealth over time. Wait a second, wealth. Paul Tudor net worth. Why does a man with $7.3 billion care to protect his wealth in this crazy concept? Maybe because he understands what's happening. Because $7 billion here is not the same as $7 billion down here, right? So there is a move happening in this. You could, again, start looking into these things. Start looking at who are doing. George Soros, $8.6 billion invested in Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, like, when you start to look at who these people are, because it's not just us saying, hey, George Soros fund reveals surprise Bitcoin bet amid 500 billion. What? Bitcoin soars on Soros' endorsement? So yes, manipulation, yes, some sentiment, yes, different things, but there's people with a lot of shekels that are saying, hey, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this. So let's put it in context. $47,000, and we're at now 54. So let's just call it $10,000, right? If you are Michael Saylor with MicroStrategies, let's look at what that realistically means. Because I think it's, again, you have to sometimes see something to be able to actually really comprehend what we're talking about. So he has 114,000 Bitcoins. Bitcoin has gone up $10,000. What does that mean in his world? Right? So think about this for a second. 114, right? At the tune of $42,000. That's 4.78. So if Bitcoin goes up $10,000 by his account of 114 that he owns, 100,000 million billion. So in 30 days, that company made had an increase of $1 billion. Huh. I guess these billionaires must be thinking something. But DP, things go down. It's not all wins. So do you not think that there's a play here? It's nice to go up 1.4 when you're a $1 trillion company like Apple. But what happens when you're down $1.1 billion? It sounds to me like I have a realized loss for tax purposes that I can use to offset against my earnings now. So you're saying I can, so you're saying that I can gain, but if I lose, I can also leverage this and declare a loss. DP, if you go up, you have to pay taxes and capital gains. First of all, if you have the ability to make that, you go ahead and pay that damn tax bill. If you are able to make $1 billion, what's that tax, man? I got to pay you what, 30% of this thing right here? Yeah, you go ahead and take that. We good. Take that. Stop it. Like this whole concept of like, well, I don't want to pay taxes. Okay, then you stay making $10,000, or do you want to make 100? Like, think about it. Would you go from making 100 grand to 500 grand? Oh, but I'm gonna have to pay taxes. Okay, well, you still are gonna have more than 100 grand. Like, you know what I mean? Stop that. My point being is, these are the things that are happening. These individuals, right? If they're up at the tune of that, it's good. If they're down, there's a strategy for that. Maybe this is where I go ahead and take a loss. Like, what does that mean? It means that the very first thing when we came over here was that Solana purchase. And when you look at that, right, for those that know this stuff, like, oh, that's nice, DP, but it doesn't show that it's, a realized gain. It's not something that you actually, up here you see it right there, right? It's an unrealized gain because at that point I had not cashed it. But these people have the ability to sell. I took a loss. Okay. Well, that loss now becomes a write-off potentially. That loss becomes something that I can make now a realized loss and turn it around. So my point is, these folks are doing things, and by no means, don't sell the house, don't pull money out of this stuff. What I'm saying is diversify. Because Paul Tudor, Michael Saylor, these billionaires, they're putting percentages of their income into this. So make no mistake about it. These folks are literally saying they are worth, right, 5 point, let's see here, let me get this one out. I don't need this one. This one, let's say 5.7 100,000 million. There you go. So 100,000 million billion, right? That's the net worth. And they're saying, well, you know what? We're going to be conservative and just put 5% of our, money in Bitcoin. When you look at that, it's up $200 million in Bitcoin. It's 5%. You have that salary. That's what you're playing with. You have that salary. That's what you're playing with. You have that salary. That's what you're playing with. Because that, spread out over the year, I'm not saying go crazy. What I'm saying is, at the minimum, pay attention, because people are doing things, and we will repeat what happened back in 2000. I wish I would have bought Amazon. I wish I would have bought Apple. I wish I would have bought Google. I wish. And the people who did it, they always win. The richer get richer and the poor get poorer. Why? Because nobody wants to fucking talk about this shit. Nobody wants to share something. Do you take losses? Yes. But we have to be in the game. If you're not in the game, you're not going to win. Many of us veterans especially, please, we gamble more money and lose money thinking that one slot pull is going to do something. Stop it. Get with the program. 5%, 2%, don't risk more than you're willing to lose. Because 5% for me is not 5% for you, but for Zoros, right? So look at it from that perspective. It's not, he put 200 million. He's a billionaire. He put 5%. And at these crazy increase rates, like we saw with the image that we had up here, they're putting like, the $50 a week over the period of time. Those things can grow. So you just don't know, is my point. But at the minimum, it's about walking away from here, at least with some understanding and questions of saying, look, I may not understand this. I don't have to understand this. But at least start asking, start looking into things. Because the people who have it and have more than they need are making a point to move into this thing. And we're just sitting back going, well, this is funny and stuff. I don't know about this. I don't want to, blah, blah, blah. The reality is People are purchasing these things, whether it's NFTs, whether it's cryptocurrencies, all these technologies. Trust me, they don't understand this stuff. Do you think George Soros, like, they have people around them saying, sir, I think this is a good investment to do a thing. One of the last points I'll put, then I'll take some questions here. I brought it up before, and I want to definitely hit it again. If you are listening to this, I am going to make this very, very real right now. I don't think I've talked to anybody as of yet who has not just sat there and said, what the hell? So we all know what regular, NFTs are and things like that. So what I'm saying here is that our children play with Roblox. They play with all these different, things. Minecraft, all these things. That's like, they're buying it. Mom, can I get $5, $2 to buy a thing? All right, get out of my face. Okay. We are dismissing things. But the people I just brought up are being sold something. That first sentence on top, the metaverse, what all the stuff begins to live in. Oh, that's crazy stuff that our kids play with. Okay. This is an ETF. This is a actual ETF for this concept. On June 30th, this came online, and you have $70 billion, right, that are being put into this. And what I really want to harp on here is, why invest into this? Because Roundhill believes that the metaverse will become the successor to the current internet and build an experience that spans beyond the virtual and real world, right? Okay. And, what are they talking about? ARC Research estimates $400 billion by 2025. Bloomberg estimates that they can get up to 800 billion. I'm not talking Bitcoin. I'm not talking NFTs. I'm talking about this metaverse place, this extra super future internet where crazy things may be taking place, like these kind of concepts, these NFTs, these virtual reality things. It's all moving that way. So look at what's being presented to them. This is wait a second. What did I click? An investor deck? Okay, a PowerPoint deck for investors. So people with a lot of money, right? Because I'm saying, right, George Soros doesn't know this stuff. How do I know that, DP? Because I'm showing it to you. This is what is presented, right? This is their thing. Looks like somebody's basement playing games with stuff that I'm talking about. Wow. Okay, so what do we have here? Metaverse explained. Okay, Metaverse. Let's see. Roundhill Metaverse designed to offer investors exposure to the metaverse by providing investment results closely correspond. Okay, the metaverse is best understood as a quasi successor to the state of the internet, just as the mobile internet was built upon expanded headlines of the 19. So we're back in 1990. Okay, so the future of the internet, right? Got it. But the metaverse will comprise of countless persistent virtual worlds, interoperate with one another, as well as the physical, and generate a robust economy that spans beyond labor and leisure while transforming long-standing industries and markets such as finance and banking and retail and education and health and fitness and sex work and more. This little image here, this looks crazy. What is this? This looks a lot like this crazy, futuristic thing. Oh, what Mecca? What are these virtual reality worlds? Think about it for a second, right? The Mechaverse? Like, what are these things doing? Oh, it's just an NFT. Oh, it's just a thing. Just like your kids' avatars when they're playing games in Roblox. Got it. Okay? So my point is, this is an investment deck for old folks with a lot of money. And look at what they're looking at here. Computing power, networking, virtual platforms, standards, payments, right? Where the internet begins to go, right? The next generation of internet, hardware, computer, networking, virtual platforms, interaction tools, come on now. But what I really want to harp on here is they're doing a deep dive. What's the size of the market? I read to you earlier. $400 billion by 2025, up from approximately $180 billion in 2021. These folks get out of bed for that kind of money. But look at this. Does this ring a bell? Oculus, Facebook, Fortnite, my kids' game, Nvidia, the stuff that they do. Okay. So what are we saying here, DP? What I'm saying to you is, look at this case study. Look at Roblox, the game your kids play, my kids play. $43 billion on a gaming platform. And they're tracking that in Q1 2021, rev was 387 million, up 140% from a year ago. Rising 4.21 million Q1, 7 from last year. Users spent 9.7 billion hours in these platforms, 2 times over from the last year, in things like Piggy, Brookhaven, Adopt Me. If you have a kid who does play this stuff, ask him about Adopt Me, ask him about Brookhaven, ask him about Piggy. Or your kids know about this. Oh, there's nothing. You keep thinking there's nothing. That little $5 you gave them is multiplied by how many, to the point of $43.5 billion. So even if you don't care about crypto stuff, what I'm saying is some of us have spent more money on Amazon than we have on anything else. But do you own Amazon? But do you own Roblox? You give so much money to your kids. But guess who's buying into this? My point being is, this is what they're looking at. They're looking at having exposures to have industries and monies into these spaces. And look at all these different things here. 7% to Nvidia. Microsoft 6.8. Amazon gets this. Like, they're literally spreading it all around because, hey, I don't know which one's going to hit. So what I'm telling you for crypto, same thing. I'm not saying that this is going to take off. This is how they play the game. I'm all in on Facebook. Don't be dumb. Don't do that. What they do, they're strategically putting money across. An ETF is putting money on this, a little bit on that. Oh, look, Snapchat. Kid stuff. Right? So my point in saying this is there's a lot of data on this. Again, all I did was a Google search of Metaverse ETF, and you'll find Roundhill Investments. We'll put the link on our website. But these are the things you must begin to look at and pay attention, because today, right, a pitch deck becomes tomorrow's closed door of what's already taking place that we might not have access to get into. So my point in all this is, these are the conversations and things that happen behind closed doors. These are the things that people are doing. These are the things that these private communities are teaching and sharing with each other. And if they're doing it, why are we not? I guarantee you your kids right now are in Roblox or Fortnite. And I would implore you, like I've asked everyone else, take a minute and ask your kid to show you Roblox. But not the way you think. I'm asking you to sit down. I have advanced degrees in technology. I've done funky stuff. I'm saying to my daughter, show me what you're doing in there. But not in the sense of here comes dad, but no, like, I want to learn. Show me the metaverse. Show me where you're doing stuff. And it becomes okay, let me log in. And I'm in a virtual world. And I'm seeing this, on TV because she's beaming it on Apple. And then she shows me, different places. I'm like, okay, show me now the metaverse where you can interact with other people, not the training little places. Okay. And I now go to a place in Roblox where others can, interact, the metaverse. And she has a house. She has a 5-bedroom, 3-story mansion with 4 vehicles, and has a job, security camera, and literally walks from one room to the next and turns off the light because last month the bill was too high. And then a bill pops up that she had to pay, and the $5,000 she had in her monies, she used that to pay the bills, and guess what? Monies were low, so she gets up and walks to work. I say, why don't you drive? She says, well, because gas is kind of expensive and it's only a few blocks away. So in the said game, walks over to perform activities of work and collects a paycheck, goes back, and her account goes back up. Knock, knock, knock. Who shows up? Her neighbor. Oh, it's my middle son who has a property apparently a few blocks away. And they're interacting in said world. And let's just say on that side of the house, not as refined, not as put together. There's a plot of land and a chair and a TV. Whereas on this side of the house, we have a full-blown gym center, we have bedrooms, we have computing services, we have security cameras. 4 vehicles. The middle child lost his vehicle because they stole it because he left his garage door open. Right? His lights were turned off because he didn't pay the bill. This one's turning off lights when she leaves rooms. What is that? So I'm asking you to spend some time with your child or grandchild and ask them a question. Say, hey, talk about this Roblox. Show me how it is. I'm just curious. Well, they're also doing a concert. Really? Who's doing a concert? Oh, Ariana Grande and so. And they're selling their merchandise inside the game. Interesting. So you have real life artists performing in these spaces, and our kids are asking for $5 to get Roblox money, and you're just shushing them away because you're not seeing that they're actually living a whole life. And then you start to think, man, your kid's so responsible. You know, they're on top of their stuff, they're proactive, they save their money. Yes, you raise your child or grandchild right, but there's something happening that you're not aware of where they're developing those skills under your nose. Because my daughter has a property and jobs and these things, and in the real world, her piggy bank don't look like her age because she saves and knows I don't need this. I'm gonna save this for that. Like, okay, yeah, well, I'm pretty smart. Nah, that was not me. Where did you pick up these skills? Why are you asking these questions? There's certain questions our kids are trying to ask. If you pay attention, it's not just like, oh, you don't know about that. I'm like, trust me, they know more than you do, because she has 4 vehicles with 4 car notes. She pays a mortgage. She pays utilities. It's a game. And so is when I log onto AT&T and pay a bill. Stop it. Right? So what I'm saying is come to these children with a sense of like, just show me. Because when you start to ask a question, then they'll show you the next thing and the next thing. And you're going to sit there flabbergasted at this world with so many intricacies that then you'll sit and say, well, now I see why in school she's like this and like that and like this. So those traits are coming into the real world. So that's one thing. The middle child, the way he's in that world, he's in this world. Like, okay, look, you know, $2. You know what I mean? So it's my point being is this is what's happening. You may not understand this. You may not care about this. But today they ask for Roblox. Tomorrow they're transacting in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Everything I'm showing you, a picture of a monkey, that's crazy. I'm doing the same thing our kids are doing, but I'm doing it in the real world at the tune of real money. And they're growing up to move into what I do. I would tell you that my daughter's ability and your kid's ability, when you ask them to show you what they have, like Amy found out, I'm trying to save up to buy this thing and do this thing. You're like, what? You're saving up to do what? You will literally sit there and realize that these kids have skill sets to do things that today might seem crazy, but I showed you these, expensive pictures that professionals build. If you see some of the things our kids are building in this space and put them side by side with what I just showed you, a damn ape, they're building stuff that looks way better than this. So what I'm saying is that they're developing skills that people today who are adults get paid millions of dollars for. That's what these kids are learning. It's happening under our noses, whether we like it or not. So instead of suppressing these things, it's about putting ourselves in a place of being humble and saying, you know what? My conversation with Abigail is simply, show me this thing. Now let me show you what I'm doing on my side. Look at this stuff. And she's like, well, that looks kind of bootleg. I'm like, well, this bootleg stuff actually costs X amount of money. And then it's also for your kids. Think about it. For them to see the real world and say, well, that's actually not complex. That's actually pretty easy. Well, if they can see that in the real world, then our job, potentially, hopefully, can be to say, what you know how to do right now can garner you this. I would put my 10-year-old, your 10-year-old, your 12-year-old up against these professionals. And I'm telling you that there's no doubt in my mind that I can take at least 5 of our kids, put them to work and do something in this space, and put my name as the person who did it. And I guarantee you that at a minimum, there will be at least $2 million, $4 million for these projects being built. Who's your tech team, DP? A bunch of 10-year-olds who do this all the time? We're not making the connection that these skills they're developing can translate. But I'm telling you, look at these things. Look at ETFs. Google it. Look it up. Our kids are using these things. And what we cannot do, if you don't do for yourself and you don't get into this, hey, I get it. But if it's your kid or your grandchild or your nephew, or you have the ability to see someone in your family doing this, try to make a point to not stifle that thing. Because the Soros of the world and these people are encouraging their kids to take these coding classes, these STEM classes. STEM my ass. These kids are doing these things in these games. And what we're doing subconsciously is suppressing it. So guess what's going to happen? There'll be a wealth generational change and all that stuff, but some kids are going to move into positions to make and command money, like we just read, in all these industries in this digital world. DP, no one's ever going to do digital world. Aren't we right now digital? Are we in the same place? Some of y'all have not been in an office building in a year. Telework, what is that? Come on now. You're living in that space. What difference is it to jump on Zoom than to jump into like, come on now, virtual reality, Oculus. Oh, look, Facebook, new thing. Now that's how you go to work. And when you're there, what's your avatar? What's your personality? Oh my God, it's all coming together. Terminate. Okay, get over the shock. My point is, we have to pay attention to what's happening, because if nothing else, if you don't want to take the ride, no problem. But our kids, our nephews are in this space, and we can easily stifle that and shush it away because it's just a few dollars for Roblox or Fortnite, and we're dismissing that they're building skills called engineering, building, graphic design. That's what's happening. So ask them, show me. You'd be surprised. Amy, on your side, I know you're like a powerhouse of all things crypto and stuff, but tell us about, as we start to wrap it up here, about your conversation with your kid when I said, hey, go ask your kid about this stuff.
So I did, and it was impressive. Pretty much exactly what DP said. She showed me the whole thing, how she goes to work. She's like a janitor. She was cleaning like grocery stores or whatever. Um, she's like, well, my house isn't that impressive. I have to save more money. But then she was saying, that she has to work a lot to be able to afford the car. And she talked about, how they can add furniture, and showing me how she gets her money and what it costs to add furniture. And and you see her walking down the street, and then Nia comes in, and she it then so she showed me how she comes in, and she comes over to her house. It was crazy. It was like a whole nother world, and they're just moving all around and doing whatever, and then they're like, okay, I'm gonna go take this job, and I'm gonna go do that job. And it was i I was thinking, because they always ask to play Roblox, and I guess there's a way that you can kind of cheat, so you can pay. Like, since I've been on tonight, she asked, can I do $1.99 on Roblox? So it's kind of a cheating way to get more things or whatever. But she takes it from her allowance and does it. But it's very interesting. I mean, just watching them navigate it and show me how they build a house and how they add on to it, and they, her bedroom isn't all the way done, but her living room is, and it was crazy. It is like a whole nother world, and just watching how they play together. And so I was telling DP, like, she actually said, "Oh, what is DP's daughter username or whatever?" Because we can play with her. And I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, we just need her username. So they called one of their friends and said, hey, will you jump on so I can show my mom something? And sure enough, there she comes. They go and they play these games. Like, they go and play games together. And so I don't think my kids are probably as they're not, I don't know if I'd say responsible, but they spend a lot of time like in the games with other friends or whatever, not so much working and trying to build up their house and buy cars and stuff like that. But same kind of thing that you were saying, though. So it's crazy. I felt better that they spent their time doing that, actually, after watching it, because it really teaches them responsibility. And so I was telling the guys that she had come to me one day with this plan, and she said, can I make $7 a day if I do my chores and you don't have to ask me? Can I make $7 a day? And she had it all written out. I was very impressed. And she said, and then basically she gives me back $5, and she keeps $2 a day. And she said, I'll give you $5 to pay for my phone, my food, and I don't know, electricity or something like that. And I thought, this was before DP had told me about the whole Roblox thing, because I see him playing it and talking and whatever, but I didn't really understand it until he had said something. So I was like, you know what? I bet you that's where she got this from. This whole plan of, I will make um yes, yes. I feel the same way, Randy. I hear him talk about it a lot. And after I'm done listening to him, I'm always like, did I learn anything? But so I asked her, I said, is that where you got your scenario of paying for the, and she said, yeah. And so I have to say, I think it's I mean, I feel some sort of way about screen time and limiting screen time, but if that's what she's doing during her screen time, then more power to her. It's almost like teaching them how to manage money in a way,
Yeah.
and what their responsibilities are. So I think it's
But,
cool.
but I think that, and so the
But
other thing that I would add to this, and it is a great point, because again, we're not going deep. I can completely lose everybody here very quickly, because
Yes.
again, I'll tell you one good stuff, Randy. This is a pretty good figure that I was almost going to forget to share, but I'll give this to you just to give you a visual representation of what this looks like. This is a visual example of the blockchain in cartoon form. I think this is amazing. You
yeah,
don't have to know much of it, but if you go to txstreet.com, you have the ability to look at what these things are. And basically, it gives you like a little tutorial, kind of shows you what's going on here. So, for example, at the bottom, I will click Show Me Around. It says this is a representation of the blockchain, right? Each house to the left right here represents a type of transaction, where it's coming from. When you click next, each bus to the right here represents a block of it moving forward, doing a thing. And click the coin name, find out. So basically, these are actually real world transactions happening right now. So I can literally click on one of these things, and that's an actual transaction happening for a thing, right? There's 200 bucks, 100 bucks doing something right now on the blockchain. But it's again just a visual presentation, not having to understand it all. But if you look at it from this perspective, all these houses are hosing things, and all these folks are moving on, and eventually the next train leaves, and off they go. That's Ethereum. There is a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot of things happening. So the train station goes. This is for low fees, and then this is there. So the ramp of transactions. These are all live transactions at the moment. I'm still scrolling. I'm gonna stop scrolling. So that's an example. When you look at things like Bitcoin itself, different conversation. Not as much. This is a whole different thing. We're talking a different use case. So it's cool. Check it out. Take a look at it. These things are coming about. But what I wanted to say specifically to the point of being more confused than when you walked in, it's like anything else. Think of it like going to the gym. You are not going to do anything impressive on day one. You're just going to go home, you're going to be sore, you're going to cry, and say, why the hell did I even showed up? And if you don't have an accountability buddy, you're probably not going to go back. So what I'm asking and saying is, yeah, I don't expect any of y'all to understand this. I said 2017, and I've been looking at it since 13, and then been in technology since the early 2000s, right? Roger, he understands blockchain, but even then, it's like I don't. It's a whole bunch of things. So what I'm saying here is that at the minimum, come back next time, because I promise you that if we keep having these conversations, eventually, piece by piece, things will start to come together, because no one got in shape overnight. You were just sore over and over and over until it got together. So when it comes to this, same thing. You didn't learn algebra, but you learned addition, then subtractions, then your times table, and then, right? So when it comes to this, it's the same thing. We have to begin to have these conversations and not just say, I don't understand how this works. Because I would venture to say that there is nobody who is either here live or on the replay that can explain to me the specification of this iPhone and how it works. No, tell me, how does this work? If I put you on a deserted island, can you build this? Do you understand how your car operates? You can put gas in it and drive it to mechanic, but you don't understand how to repair it. There's a lot of things that we use that we do not understand. Your flat screen TV, your LED TV, your 4K. Do you understand pixels? Do you understand? Your toaster. There's a lot of things in the world that we just do not understand how they work, but yet we are transacting. Grandma don't know what an iPhone is, but she can send a poop emoji. So what I'm saying is that when it comes to this, yes, some people may be able to get into the minutiae and details, but really it's not about that. It's more about beginning to have the conversation to understand where things are going. Because right now we're using computers to talk to each other. And unless you're a computer engineer, nobody here knows how the hell their computer works. All they know is when it stops working, you go to the tech. So I'm saying that when it comes to this space, this is 1990. I showed you the stuff. Back in then, there was no Amazon. Everything that this is being created, I'm basically saying that I am explaining right now the way you feel, Randy and others, and Amy and so forth, is as if though somebody went back to you in the year 2001 and said, there's going to be a company called Amazon. You'll have an app on your phone. You will order it, and it will show up in your house within a day or two. First question, what the hell is Amazon? They sell books. Second question, mobile what? Third question, what's an app? Fourth question, what's Prime? Fifth question, a day to delivery? The post office takes 7 days. What are you talking about? Uber? I go to the street, I wave my hand, a taxi shows up. Because back in the day, you never got into a cab into a stranger's car that you did not know. And now you take an app in your phone and order a stranger to come get you. My point is, think of what we use today that had you told yourself 5, 10 years ago what you were going to do with it, you'd laugh and be like, there's no way in hell that I'm going to use a phone to have some person from the internet come and get me. Think about this. Amy, get off the internet. There's weird perverts out there. You don't know who's out there. Don't go meet up with people. Tinder, Match, dating apps. Back in the day, killers on the internet. Today, people literally have relationships built on Match.com and all kinds of online platforms. Look at us right here having this conversation. Lisa supporting Roger. Supportive conversations on the internet with killers and rapists and all kinds of bad people. Are they there? Yes. But we demonized it back in the day, right? Who are you talking to? You don't know them. That could be some, right? We all heard it. Hey, mom, I'm going to go ahead and order a cab to come get me from the internet. No, the hell you're not. And what do we do now? Uber. Right? My point is, technology will advance whether or not we choose to accept it. It's not for us to understand this right now. It's about starting the conversation of what's happening at a macro level. And little by little, these things will start to make sense, because what I want to have is the ability to come next. We can say, okay, DP, all right, I looked up into this thing. So is this what it is? And begin to bring questions and start having conversations and exercise your mind, because the only way you learn how to parallel park is by doing it a bunch of times with a few dings here and there. And eventually, guess what? You do that thing with your eyes closed, right? You don't even think about driving now. But remember, when, like my kid, when your first day is driving, white knuckling it, and now you drive one finger.
I don't think about driving at all. I use a Tesla.
Right? So I say that to say, please do not feel in any way, if you feel more confused, I would argue that you're moving towards better understanding. Because what I am saying is, I'm taking a flashlight and showing you that what you think you know is not what you know. You think this space is 100 square feet. Tonight, a few lights went on and you realize that, oh, it's 1,000 square feet. So to Randy's point, I'm more confused now than before. I thought it was only 100 square feet. I had my bearings, and now you showed me all these other things? Ugh. Right? I just learned my math. Now there's subtraction? I learned my subtract. Now there's multiplication? There's letters in here? Right? Baby steps. So that's the whole point that I'm trying to get to, of saying, first, shock value. Yes, there's money to be made. Yes, things are happening. Yes, we'll automate things. Yes, there's investment opportunities. Yes, 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 yes. But beyond that, if you understand what's happening and start to get acclimated towards it, we can have conversations, because I'll tell you what these ultra rich people like to do. They like to share with each other and talk with each other, and they come up together. We don't do that as veterans anymore. So what I'm saying is that if I had put $1,000 into this thing, I'm not giving you financial advice. But imagine a day tomorrow we have conversations and you're part of those specific conversations to learn about these things. And it's like, well, crap, I don't know what the hell you're doing, but if I can mimic you, then I'll follow what you're doing. All right, follow me by the numbers. How do we learn combatives, right? Am I perfect? No. What I'm saying is that that's how we get ahead. We get ahead by saying, "Hey, Brian, like I don't know what the hell you're doing, but I want to do what you did. I see where you came from. You were able to do something. All right, I need to mimic that." Because at what point do you keep saying like, okay, so Brian took $100 and made it into this? He bought it, and okay, at what point do you say, okay, look, everybody keeps doing something and moving ahead. I'm still here looking at the same $50 in the goddamn bank, right? So again, it's just more a challenge to say, hey, start asking questions, start googling things, and again, put $5 into something. Because I promise you, that's when things will begin to get your attention. Because now you own something. I own an NFT. We send somebody some. All these things will start happening. So that's the challenge. So I really just wanted to focus down on that, Randy, because again, it's how we begin to have these conversations. Again, this stuff was made by smarter people, but I offer to you that it's because it's open to us all that it's so difficult. It's not something in a box that we just turn on and turn off. This is a different world. So slowly we begin to do things. Roger, to your point, yes, you don't have to own a whole Bitcoin. You can own 0.0001 of a Bitcoin, and that's $100. And as Bitcoin rises, so do your stuff. Bitcoin went up 10x. Well, your $10 went up 10x. A win's a win's a win's a win. So again, little things like that. Eric, I need to spend some time learning NFTs. I don't know, feeling cute. I might just create one. A veteran NFT. Crazy concept, right? Well, whatever will we do with that? Stay tuned. Eric, I use Swan as well. Smart man. Sam's gangster with it. I want my NFT. Roger said, I want my wallet. So put Roger down. He gets the Flash wallet that will send from.
Got him noted.
Yeah, so I was waiting for the wallet comment as I was scrolling down here. So that was Roger's first comment there. So wallet, we'll get you one of these Ledger Nanos. And again, to your point of as far as saving things, this is a wallet. There's online wallets. This is one of my wallets. It's offline. It's not connected. I connect it when I want to use it, and like the key to a house, it's in my pocket until I choose to use it. And in the digital world, this is what unlocks and moves what I own. So this is the keys to the $2 kingdom. Let's see. Make sure I got all the comments here.
Sam's got a good one there.
Yes. Lisa did a combat role. She left and she came back. Let's see. Yeah, and Billy Wilson, same thing. The history of what's happened. People are always going to want to bastardize things. So, there's a renaissance happening, and I'm telling you, hashtag crypto for vets. It's crazy. Gino swinging highest mecha sold for 15 ETH yesterday, swinging at the air. Let's see. How do you move from burned in stuff to investing in blockchain? I don't think I understand the question. How do you move from burned in stuff to investing in blockchain?
This was when you had just started talking
Gotcha.
about it. Yeah.
Okay. I think we're good here then. So, and again, those that we choose, we'll reach out to you. We'll bring you in. We'll have a conversation. So we're not just gonna say, hey, here's the stuff, figure it out. Like, no, we'll work with you to make sure that you at least begin the process of getting this right. So we send you something, we'll teach you how to receive it. Roger will get with you to make sure that you can set it up. So we're making videos and showing how to do certain things. So apparently we know how to work a camera. So stand by for that as well. Partial coins. Let me see. Lisa, great point. Think Ready Player One.
Yep.
You know what, Brian? There was a time when people saw a show about people in a spaceship and they would flip things and talk and they would beam and how much stuff from Star Trek is real? How much stuff from Dick Tracy is real? A watch that you talk to? Come on, Dick Tracy.
My wife did that to me today. She's like, beep beep.
So think about it. Like it's not going to stop. And arguably the adoption rate of what's happening here is faster than the internet. Literally, it's 168 or so percent year after year adoption rate. So this is being adopted faster than the internet. So it's going to get real crazy real fast. Back in the day, internet was for a select few. Now everybody has it in their pocket. Well, what's going to happen in 5 to 10 years, right? Let's see. Great information about all this. My head is spinning over what kids are doing. And the reality is that at the minimum, what I also really wish to see, and I mentioned about an NFT, maybe Veterans Network creates one. I don't know. You never know. But it's really about saying, imagine a day where Roger and Randy and others can have a conversations, not only with their kids, but with their grandkids and talk NFTs and talk about these things. And their grandkids say, yeah, that's what I do here. And guess what? Now you're not sitting there going, I don't know what this is. I'm like, oh crap, this is what he was talking about. Because this is another part. It's not just investment. What I'm also saying here is that maybe to Roger's question of, how do we begin to connect again? Maybe it's having a conversation about an NFT. Maybe it's, hey, look what I got. What do you mean you got that? Well, these veterans, we do this thing. Veterans with NFTs? You got a what? They sent you a what? Are you serious? And guess what's happening? You're having a conversation with someone with a huge age gap that you felt completely disconnected from, and now it's not get off my lawn. Now it's, hey, so tell me a little bit more about that, because that's what it's all about. It's about connecting again. And this is a way that potentially can help someone have a conversation to where, again, I spent an hour and a half watching my daughter show me a thing, right? Life happens, you work, you get busy, but think about it. Amy, how long did you spend going through this whole thing when you asked your kids to show you that?
Probably a good hour, I would say.
Think about it. When's the last time you can
I
say,
was impressed. I just was just like shocked.
but think about it, right? A genuine hour, not just you, a genuine hour of you. We spend an hour, but do you spend an hour? Right? And that's what this potentially gives us the ability to do with our folks. So Eric says this is an amazing conversation. Thank you, hermano. Sam, it's a paradigm shift. You know it. Sam says join Swan Force DP, Star Trek, Yahoo. If you guys have any alibi questions, feel free to post them down there. But again, there's a lot to unpack in all this. But the theme is, you see, it doesn't matter if it's claim, if it's crypto, if it's NFT. It starts with not just a cookie cutter, do this and you get there. Now, it's language in doc. We have to start getting you there, teaching you things. So that's what's coming. That's what's happening. Amy, what are some of your thoughts as we begin to wrap it up?
So I always feel a little bit dumber after I listen to this, I have to say. But I think it's repetition. I think sometimes I'm understanding it more or it becomes familiar to me. So I'm definitely in it for the long haul as far as like trying to learn it myself. I tried to get out of it and say, can I just give you some money and you guys do it for me? And they said no. So I actually had a message from somebody that asked the same thing. And I was like, well, if they're not going to do it for me, I don't think they're going to do it for anybody else.
And full disclaimer, there are some plans, I can't confirm or deny, for automated services. There are Glenn said, disclaimer for new viewers, charge your phone prior because we're going home. We're going hard here. Got to make sure you're charged up because it's about to get hot and heavy.
Yes.
But I would say that crap, I lost my train of thought with that one. That was hilarious. The heck was I saying? Automated stuff. We there are plans, maybe not, to have things like that, right? So yes, there will be opportunities for potential bots, right? So what does a bot do? I don't know. I put some money in a bot, and the bot does everything I just said automatically. I just let it do its thing in the background. I may or may not know a thing or two about that. We may or may not have that maybe coming up. May or may not have had a conversation. I don't know. Crazy conversations when we start asking crazy questions, right? Because my premise in all this is simply this. There's no reason why veterans cannot have access to this. There's no reason why the elderly cannot have access to this. There's no reason why the tech savvy cannot have access to this. So it's about, hey, yes, there'll be services where you don't have to do this stuff. Yes, I don't need you to literally sit there trying to learn how to use, certain technologies. No. Yes, that's possible, but there's options that will be available to just set it and forget it. Swan Bitcoin, you set it and forget it. but it's imperative that you at least understand the bigger picture of what's happening, so you're not just completely saying, I don't want to, right? Like, okay, I know what this is, and I'm investing, and you know what I mean. I'm slowly kind of getting into it, etc. But to Amy's point, yeah, no, you're getting to slowly kind of learn. But there'll be some programs and things available to take deeper dives into specific areas. There'll be automation options potential if people want to subscribe to things that are available out there. Again, these people have this trading, bots that literally are doing this thing automatically. In these coming days, maybe the next live, I'll literally live as we're talking. I may have the background running, and I'll just let it do its thing, while we're talking. So literally, that's a possibility that nothing stops me to show you. So maybe next week, and I'll make a point, obviously, to not make it too crazy. But maybe next week I'll make a point to say, let's go ahead and just take Litecoin, and I want to say USD.
Yeah.
So I want to take Litecoin, and I want to
You're in the stock.
Oh, there you go. Move back here. Good day, and I want to pull this up, and maybe I'll live just let this thing run, and I'll show you how I just will literally buy and sell the whole time we're here, and just ding, 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 and show you what I can tell you. Not because it's a show off thing, it's just to show you that it's not as complex as you think. But again, this all may be completely a different language to you, but it doesn't matter, because what matters is this: if I understand there's a potential that I can buy something here and sell something here, great. But do you know there's also potential that I can literally, ride this up and then take a short position, and in that short position make a point to say, hey, now I'm actually playing reverse. Now what I'm saying is I'm betting this will go down, and as it goes down, I will ride it all the way down here and sell on this point. And when it goes to here, I'll sell. So you can make money on the way up, you can make money on the way down, longs and shorts. A conversation for another day. A bot company that you trust? I don't know. Veterans Network might have its own bots, is what I am saying. We don't need to go anywhere else if we have the ability to do our thing. So, yeah, if we know people who know things, and who we trust, ourselves, right? So I can show you better, I can tell you, but those are some things that people are asking. And if there's bot services and things that we can create for our people, then we're going to do that. So when you go to our website, you see some of those services. That's what we're talking about specifically. We're specifically making a point to talk about providing and creating those opportunities for people. So it's not just tongue in cheek, right? That's what literally this is. VSAS. I made that up. My words. Trademark. But working on, literally services, software under review, which include, not limited to, cryptocurrency, forex, blockchain, metaverse, miscellaneous market bots that can carry out a series of complex operations to supplement investment strategies. If you're interested in having a bot run hands off and just collect the returns, let us know. Something that we're going to look into. So again, not financial advice. It's information. You will execute. We'll talk about it. But again, these are things that are available. So it's not just, hey, go look over there. No. Let's solve a problem. And the problem is simple this. Our veterans deserve the ability to have access to this stuff. So let's solve problems. Right? Again, that's the whole narrative, right? It's a business. Like, don't thank me for my service. Like, no, you want, okay, well, we have a service. Sign up. Learn. Not just blindly give somebody money. No. It's because I could easily say, Amy, don't worry about it. Just give me your money. I'll take care of it. Nope. Far too long we've been taken, hoodwinked, bamboozled, taken advantage of. We have to understand some principles, and then all that other stuff will be there. So, I don't know, stay tuned. We have some cool stuff coming. But that's something, against that question, I think is definitely useful. Again, that may be something interesting to someone, or they may be looking into, again, veteran business development. Right? Yeah, join groups, join this, join that. I get it. It's great. Show me action. Show me returns. Show me success. Right? Because when it comes down to it, if this is something you need, I would implore and ask you, you better be able to show me receipts. You're going to pay someone to talk about crypto and show you? Show me. No, show me your wins. Show me that you know. You're going to show me some business stuff? All right. Show me your business. Show me your net worth. Show me your profit and loss statements. Show me the businesses you've done. Show me success. enough of this random like look for someone there. Like we have to stop. In our ranks, we have people that literally have skills that people would die to know if they knew they had them. So that business development aspect of sharing what people know how to do, we can do that. I know a thing or two about this. Let's make that a business. Let's provide services. You don't have time to sit in front of a computer and day trade? No problem. You want to day trade? We'll have something for that too. You don't know what signals to use? We might have a signal service. You don't want to do that? You want a bot to do it for you? We might have that. You want to buy some Bitcoin daily? We have affiliate relationships. So think about it. It's not about like pushing product. It's saying no. We can develop our own ecosystem, and whatever the heck we need, we have, and we'll find one way or the other. So there's a lot of goodness coming. So I'm definitely excited for what's to come. Maybe next time we're here or the following one, we may bring one of our new partners in business. She was a medical provider in the Air Force, the flight doc. You guys will be interested to hear about that. The flight doc coming to a Friday night live near you to talk about things of the military. Like, man, imagine a doctor who understands veteran stuff, who actually worked on med boards, was in the service, was a doctor in the service, is a doctor right now, understands veteran stuff, and has the ability to talk about claim things. Like, we're not playing games anymore. We're going right to the gooch. We're going right to the neck. We're going to get the people that have the skill set to talk with authority, not people who Google stuff. Right? So that's what this is all about. It's about sharing, it's about building, it's about empowering. So if we talk about medical things or claim things, we got, the heavy hitters. We're talking finances, we have that, etc. We're talking about singing, we have Amy's mic on delivery. Brian, over to you, my brother.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, you have really touched on some really exciting stuff. I can tell you that us having played with the concept of automated trading bots, the concept of these signal services on, hey, you want to know how to trade without being an expert trader? I tell you what, these things that are coming are so exciting. And what's going to be so exciting is that we're going to be able to make this available to the veteran community who are hungry for this kind of knowledge, hungry for this kind of access to be able to make life better for yourself and for your family and friends. It's just great stuff coming, and can't wait for everybody to be able to experience it.
I am excited for it. Amy, any closing thoughts on your side, Brian, before we give it to Amy?
No, just don't be afraid if you don't understand. I mean, we all had the awkward moments of even learning how to walk in formation, even though we were adults. I mean, can you imagine how crazy it is that you don't know how to do a left turn without stumbling over your feet? Well, we got past that. We became experts at that. So, like DP said, we're going to learn. You're going to learn this. We're going to grow together, and it's going to be great. So, just stay tuned, stay frosty, be ready to have your mind blown and opportunities opened, and it's going to be great.
Yeah. Amy, the mic as you close.
Okay, so thanks for holding this space, DP. It's always great hanging out with the veterans, and I always learn new stuff, but sort of feel dumber after I hear some of it. No, but it's great. So it's been great seeing everybody on and everybody interacting, and it's always rewarding to see that people are benefiting from it and that they want to hear more and learn more. So that's exciting. And remember to check on your strong friends. And the heaviest thing to pick up is a phone. So reach out if you need to, or reach out to others. And that is all I have.
Sweet. So yeah, again, definitely appreciative of you all spending some time with us. There are some exciting things that are definitely coming, and it's really all about just sharing and paying it forward, and hopefully, like I said, it's not spray and pray, but something you can grab that you can at least walk away, ask a question, jot it down, So again, we got Roger with the wallet. We have some NFTs and some cryptocurrencies that we'll be contacting. We'll share who those individuals were on our social media, and especially on our next live get together. So definitely bring a friend, do a thing. I will put a challenge out right now for the next time. We'll make a point to do it. But for the next time we go live, one of the challenges that we'll do is to be considered for a cryptocurrency or NFT. You have to bring someone, and the way we'll verify that is someone in the comment will say, "Hey, I'm here with Eric." Check to Eric. "I'm here with Roger." Check to Roger. If your person that you brought with you is not there here in the comment, then you do not get entered into this specific giveaway.
And we'll know if you're just changing your voice.
That part. Like this. "Hi, it's Stacey." Like, no. So thank you all. Again, more to follow. Good stuff. Thank you for everyone, to everyone that spent some time with us here. Let's see here. We got, Glenn is parachuting in, so for a fact he's ready to rock and roll. But we'll be back in 2 weeks, which is an eternity in crypto NFT world. But we're doing some amazing things, so definitely stay true. Gino said, "Do not leave us." Gino, you gotta go get your points in, and we gotta go get some work in. So we gotta go whitelist. I need a mecca. But it'll be great tomorrow and in future when we all have those inside jokes, because we're all winning together. So that's coming. Stand by for that. See, look, Glenn was just like, woo, 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 woo. I'll take some ETH. Come on now. Shit. Mark, we were doing good, and
Mark, you missed it. I don't have my battery. Brian,
I'm
has
sorry,
it
Mark.
still.
I'm sorry, Mark. It's still sitting here.
But good to see you, Mark. I'm glad you joined us.
ay caramba. Yeah. So on that note, let's get up out of here.
Just another sunny day. It's where the